Weirdest habits of people you lived with. Ew. Trigger warning for some really disgusting stories. Queen Moose 88 says, I had a flatmate. Sorry, British. Sorry, I'm British.
Sorry.
That was a brony. Huh? For anyone who doesn't know what a brony is, that's a My Little Pony,
Bro.
but a guy who's into My Little Pony.
No, it's not. Because
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what a brony is.
What did you think a brony was?
like a bro.
No. A
They
brony
know.
is a guy who's into My Little Pony.
Guys, they're gaslighting me. I know.
I
they
am
are.
not. For the lucky people who have not come across a brony in the wild, it's basically a grown man who was into My Little Pony.
See?
He would carry around a
No.
Yes.
What?
That's what they're called. I've heard about this
Why?
concept when I watched My Little Pony as a younger person.
You're still a young person.
I don't
When
like
I was
this.
younger. He would carry around a sizable teddy version of a pony and told us she was helping him with the cooking when he was in the kitchen. He also paid a lot of money for a rainbow pony birthday cake for himself, and he attended the My Little Pony annual convention.
Didn't know there was a convention for that.
There is a huge fan base for My Little Pony.
There's a convention for a lot of things, Savannah.
I will
You'd be
say
surprised.
the newer show, I mean, again, I watched it many years ago, but honestly, it was pretty good.
The only convention I've been to is a reptile convention, and I bought my friend a little dumpy frog.
Okay. However, it was his fanfic artwork that scared the bejesus out of me.
Oh, no.
The only way I can describe it is pony erotica. I still have nightmares. Okay, that is so much worse. That is so much worse to find out that he is schmexualizing this children's show. That is worse. I know there's everything on AO3, but this feels a little bit worse.
I want to see these paintings.
Probably find them. If you went on some sort of fan fiction thing.
There
you
are a
would-
couple websites where you can do that.
You could
ASAP.
easily
Well,
find
I have just learned this new term, and I need examples.
Have you not heard? You know what? No.
I'm shocked
No,
you haven't.
I've never heard.
There is a website where no, I'm not helping you. I am not gatewaying that to you.
El
I
Catan.
wouldn't do it. I've never watched My Little Pony.
Really?
It's not about My Little Pony. It's about the web.
Pony.
It's the one with the number. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not AO3?
Not AO3. It's the really bad one.
What? Anywho, that is the end of that story.
That was the end of that.
Honestly,
like
if
a
you were just a brony, if you just liked the show, I'd be like, it's all good.
Not yucking your yum.
Yeah, not yucking your yum, but showing you his erotic My Little Pony horse
I'm gonna yuck your yum
stuff.
yum.
Yeah, that goes a little too far for me personally.
I want to see it.
But Savannah wants to see it, so please show it to her.
I'm curious.
There you
Not
go.
interested.
Chat's
I'm
got
curious.
You know what, chat? You can do that for her. I
What's a
didn't do
roll? I'm
But
doing it right now.
Cura Love says, my nephew was a brony for a while. He also likes strawberry shortcake, but he was not grown. He was a baby brony. I feel like you can't be a baby brony, you know?
She's actually doing it. Oh my
Because
gosh.
I feel like if you're a child, then it's just a show for kids, you know?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
I honestly think it's fine. Like, I love a lot of cartoons that are geared towards children. I think that there are a lot of really great ones. For example, She-Ra. Love that show. So I really don't think there's any problem with anyone wanting to watch any show. But you went a little further.
She's found the rule. Don't turn that phone around.
But that's the end of that story. And on that note, we're going to get into the next one. El Catan 3 says, my old roommate, he was technically the homeowner, but lived in a shack in the backyard, would come into my room early in the morning and watch me sleep. That's so much worse than the last guy. The last guy was just a little bit weird. This is so much worse. I was a bartender at the time, so I would get home about an hour or so before he would be leaving for work. I was always thoroughly passed out when he'd leave, and I'm a heavy sleeper, so I did not notice this was happening for months until a guy I was seeing stayed up and caught him opening my door. Are you a woman?
Are you a woman?
I mean, it's weird both ways, but it's really weird one of those ways. There was also a second door to my room that I could not open. It was locked from the other side. I don't know what was going on in there, but I'm fairly certain he was spying on me from that room as well. Ah! He was a complete crazy person. And that's the end of that story. That's
He was just looking.
that's terrifying. That is so scary.
Have you ever watched there's a worst roommate thing
Yeah.
on Netflix? I
haven't watched
Oh my gosh, I love it. I used to be obsessed with it, and then I had my sister watch it with me, and she was like, "Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "I know, right?" Because it's kind of like true crime-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my gosh, yeah, there was one where this guy kept going into this like girl's room at night. And she's like, I would know because I would hear my door open. I would hear him come in and then nothing for a while. And then he would just leave. And I'm like, why wouldn't you get up? I'd be like, hey, it's weird.
Yeah, no, that's creepy. But we got another story from Rudolph Kittler says.
Whoa, wait, we do? Well, because this user was on our previous episode.
No way.
Yeah. So I guess they just have some crazy stories.
Yeah, and also that name.
Dakota said the same thing.
Frickety frick.
Little close to.
Who's that name referring to?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Who says, I live with my cousin, and we both have long hair that reaches our shoulder blades. He has this weird habit. I don't even know how he does it, but every time he comes out of the bathroom, I see hair art. Literal hair art on the wall.
No. I hate that. Oh
My God. My boyfriend not this morning, but the other morning had to like pull hair out of the shower drain it wasn't our hair. It was like one of his roommates or whatever. And I was like,
No.
It was terrible. I think I almost passed away.
Oh, yeah.
This went on for about a month until I finally told him to stop because it was seriously weirding me out. I feel like this guy is doing like, he's Leonardo da Vinci. He's like, he's got the whole like Adam and God moment, but with hair, and it's like, no, he's doing Starry Night with hair, like swirling and stuff. Little Van Gogh in the bathroom.
Fun fact, I tried to do leg hair art one time.
Yeah.
During COVID, I was bored. It didn't work out.
What does that mean?
I just like grew my hair.
And then you would shave it?
And then no. Well, yes. I did mohawks one time. My family's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, look.
You had too much time.
I did. And then I would be like, woo.
You were giving your hair waves? Guys, you should try it out. Maybe it's a new craze.
Fun.
He eventually did, and it stopped completely until he moved out. Months later, I visited his place. I had to use their bathroom, and guess what I found? A Picasso of the weirdest art imaginable. A full-on hair Picasso. Hair on the wall is the weirdest crap I've ever seen in my entire life. Wait, like actual Picasso?
That's kind of crazy.
Because I'm sorry, that's impressive.
That is very impressive.
Are you being hyperbolic? Or was it an actual Picasso? And can you take a picture? Did you take a picture? I would have been taking a picture.
I don't like when people like, you know, their hair like falls out in the shower or whatever and they like put it on the
yeah.
I don't like
people
that.
are always putting
My
stuff on the
sister
wall.
does that. And I'm like,
Yeah,
ew.
people-
And she's
yeah.
like, well, I don't want it to go down the drain. I'm like,
I'd rather it go down the drain.
yeah.
And then
No,
you can deal with it like all together or something, you know?
Yep.
But then
I
you
agree.
almost pass away from it.
That was just because I wasn't dealing with it. Someone else dealt with it. Nina says, my stepdad uses snus. See picture. It's tobacco put under your upper lip. And since he's been doing it for many years, he uses a lot of it each time. That's very like baseball player thing, right?
Yeah.
Or is that just like in the gums?
It's in
or
the
what?
gun. It's in the bottom.
In the back.
Right here.
Yeah,
You-
that's
you
where they
spit.
spit.
I used to do that.
I never understood why in movies with like baseball players they were always spitting. For the longest time, I was like, what are they spitting?
It's tobacco. They're chewing tobacco.
I always thought they had like sunflower seeds.
Well, now it's sunflower seeds. They banned chewing tobacco or tobacco in general
Why are they doing sunflower seeds?
because it's like
are
a
they all
habit.
like all addicted or something?
It's just like something to put in your mouth, like because they probably were used to putting chewing
So
tobacco.
they were addicted and now they got to replace that with sunflower seeds.
Pretty much.
When he's done with it, instead of going to a trash can or whatever, he just spits it out into the closest glass and leaves it there for days.
Ugh.
My brother used to do that.
Ew.
And my dad used to do that as well.
I'm sorry, that's
Chewing
gross.
tobacco? Yeah, they would have like if you're on like the go or like if they're at their computer, you know, like doing work, whatever, it's just like, and then they just like leave it there.
I would
and then
be throwing
until it
it on
fills
their
up.
pillow.
It's disgusting because
That's
I'm like,
gross.
what's in this? And I'm like, oh my god, I know what that is. I know what that is. Oh my god, oh my god.
I would be like putting it on their bed. I would maybe leave it in the cup if I were being nice, but I would be putting it on their bed and saying, deal with this.
Ewy.
I legitimately have never seen him clean one of those glasses. I assume my mom has to empty them and put the glass in the dishwasher because I can't think of I've ever seen him doing it when I lived there. So yeah, let's be thankful I don't have to live there anymore.
Okay, wait. I will specify that
Yeah.
theirs was it wasn't like a glass, like a
Yeah, it was like an actual spit thing.
Was it like a
No.
spit can?
No, it was a like water bottle, like a plastic water.
Oh, yeah. Like,
okay,
like
well,
they're gonna
at
toss
least you
it.
can
Yeah.
throw that away.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
and
was
then they would
easy.
just throw it away. It's not like no. They were not doing it into like a glass.
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
so much worse. But we got another one from Deleted who says she would sometimes go out to do Lord knows what and then come in late at night. It would be well after midnight, sometimes 2 or 3 in the morning, and I would be in bed asleep already. But she would always wake me up because she was so dang loud coming in. She would come in, flip the lights on, and whisper my name a couple times to see if I would respond. She's like, Savannah, Savannah, are you awake? Savannah! Savannah, wake up! That's her. I wouldn't. I would pretend to be asleep. So that is literally her being like, Savannah, Savannah, are you awake? Savannah, Savannah, please. Savannah, are you awake? Oh, she's asleep. Savannah?
I'm asleep.
Oh, okay. She said she's asleep, so she must be asleep.
I'm asleep.
Because I didn't really like her or want to talk to her, especially that late at night. As soon as she thought I was asleep, she would let it rip. I'm talking loud, long farts. It was really hard not to laugh.
It's just Savannah.
What's wrong with that?
I've never
Nothing.
heard Savannah fart.
Do it right now.
I can't make myself.
She can't do it on command.
Sorry, my sister can.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She's really gaseous.
Hers, it's like an It's like a cannon, and it's always like first thing in the morning. It's just like that's what you get awoken by. It's not like
your sister
hi.
is this roommate.
It's literally like it's all peaceful. You hear the birds, and all of a sudden, brrr, and then I'm like, it's like SpongeBob's
It's like
like
an
alarm. It is, and I'm like, wow, and she goes, and then rolls over. I'm like, wow.
So your sister is this roommate.
Yeah.
So when I was traveling, doing like my backpacking trip with my friends, the first week that we were there, one of my friends got the vid, and she had to go stay in a hotel separate to us. And so we went on because we already had tickets to go to like another hostel in London. And so she stayed in Scotland, which it's only like a 5-hour train ride or 3 hours, something like that. And so we went on to the next hostel and she was going to meet us in London, but couldn't get a place in the same hostel. So she got a different hostel and she was staying in a room with this one older woman and a couple other people, I think. And she told me, she was like, all night, this older woman was just like loudest farts you can imagine. Just like, and then she was like talking to my friend Isabella and just farting while she was talking, like loud farts while she's talking. And Isabella's like, I didn't know what to do. And I was trying not to laugh. And then apparently she was really nice and bought my friend some fish and chips.
I would have been like, she'd be like, yeah, so, and like,
yeah, literally, she was like that. So she's calling me, and we're like, on the other part of the city, and she's like, yeah, and she keeps going, like, oh, and like, where are you from? And
wait, you heard
lovely. No.
Oh.
She was just recounting.
Hey, it's better out than in.
I guess so. Phoenix Hunter 4 sends a story in and says, my 19 female college roommate and friend, 20 female, never wakes up to her alarms. This sounds like my boyfriend. She has 2 physical alarm clocks, one near her head and the other further away on her desk. She also has her phone alarms. She's a bio major. I do theater, so she has classes way earlier than me.
Yep.
Even then, none of them wake her up. They wake me up and I call her name and then she turns it off. She's missed flights and classes because of this, and she's yet to find something that works. They'll go off basically all morning until she gets up, which is typically up to 40 minutes after the actual alarm.
No.
This would drive me crazy.
I give it like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay.
You're up.
Like,
You're up. Yeah.
Yeah. You're up. I'm up.
No, that's me in the mornings with my boyfriend. His alarm goes off and I'm like, okay, wake up. And he's like, I'm like, your alarm is going off. And then
Yeah.
I like give up. And then it'll go off again. And I'm like, okay, wake up.
No.
I'm like, I'm awake now.
My alarm, I don't even let it like ring for 5 seconds.
No, I
Like,
turn
it's
it
like,
off.
No. I'm like, boop.
Yeah, because I'm up. I can't go back to unless it's like really early. I can't go back to sleep. So I'm up when that alarm goes off.
Yeah.
I have a hard time going back to sleep when I'm woken up, so I've spent a lot of mornings just lying in bed until I actually have to get up. Safe to say, we're still friends, but we are not living together again next year. That is so fair. And we've got another story from Eternal Octopi, who says, this is gross and weird. I became disabled and was between work and gaining disability, so literally zero income. A friend volunteered to move in with me without asking, and I was in no position to say no. I made her a deal so that instead of paying rent, she paid the utilities I could no longer afford. I live in an extremely affordable area, and my landlady at the time pretty much just charged me upkeep of the house and property as well as utilities to stay there. Family connections. The only utilities are water and electric, which are rarely over $200 combined. My neurological symptoms were completely wild and uncontrolled then. Seizures, constant dizziness, nausea, vertigo, severe migraines, speech impediment, light, sound, and temperature sensitivity. The list goes on and on. Bending over could trigger an episode. Heck, a computer screen could. Worse, the wrong kind of lighting could. Grocery stores become a living nightmare. If I moved slowly and kept the house under the perfect conditions, I could remain fairly useful and keep the house so clean. However, if I had an attack, I would be screwed for days at a time, often bedbound while I recovered. The friend, well, she never, ever cleaned. Ever. The only two things she was really in charge of cleaning were her room and the cat box. She never properly cleaned either. There was a period where I couldn't bend or pull to change the box at all, and by the time I was able to tackle it, I literally had to cut the floor under it out and throw it away.
Whoa.
Oh, that must have been bad. All the way down to the subfloor. Yeah, it was that bad. And I had to do it on my hands and knees while trying not to be sick, unsure if it was my body or the situation making me ill. I did eventually punt her out, and when I saw her room, finally, I tried to clean it and couldn't. It was too disgusting to clean on my own. Apparently, the cats used her room as the cat box during that awful time, and she never cleaned it.
Oh my God. It
Plus,
probably
she had,
smelled so rank.
you better be charging her a freaking cleaning fee.
Oh,
Plus, she had trash and rotted food in piles along with things she'd left behind. No good deed goes unpunished, I guess.
No good deed.
Yeah,
No
OP. The thing is, if someone just says, I'm moving in with you, you can say no. And the second thing is, if someone destroys that place that you're living in, then you charge them a cleaning fee. And you say, hey, you destroyed the place that I'm living in, and you can't do that. Figure that out. I don't know.
I can't even leave I know people who will eat food and then just leave it in the room. I can't.
Even leave it in the room?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't do it.
I can't even leave things in my car.
No,
I don't know.
except for an egg.
Except for an egg. Yeah.
Okay. The egg is a different story, and I didn't know it was there for a while.
That's fine.
I did not know it was there.
But then you decided to
Did
leave
know
it
it was
there.
there.
Yeah.
Well, I put it back, and then I remember one of the twins was like, why is there an egg in here? I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that.
And then she brought it here and almost cracked it here.
Well,
And
because
would've
have you ever
stunk up
tried
my
to crack an
house.
egg with one hand? It's impossible.
She almost released
Try
a
it.
rotten egg
What?
into my house.
Try it. You think. I was very skeptical. I was like, no way, I can totally do this.
I have heard that.
And you can't. You cannot. It doesn't do it. So
I don't believe.
I know.
We'll try it.
Yeah.
We'll crack an egg.
Yeah, go crack an egg.
Okay, let me do it right over your head.
How dare
Yeah. No, I would do it because you can't.
you? Because you freaking can't. Prove it. Prove you can't.
I just don't want egg goop all over my hand.
Well,
what
you just go,
it's
you
just
do
an
it over the
excuse.
sink and then you go, psh, and then it's off.
But we've got another story from awesome Ashley, 1985.
Uh-oh.
And here's the gross, icky story we were promised.
Disgusting, nasty, blah, blah, blah.
Not sure how weird this is, as it is way more disgusting than weird. During college, I spent a few months living with someone I thought was a friend that I had met at work. This was when I worked at Target, for those of you that remember the awesome Ashley goes to jail story. While living with her and a few of her other friends, it quickly became a run for the hills kind of situation, with being overcharged for bills and not being given any communal space in the rest of the house. I kept to myself in my room for the most part. In no time at all, garbage bags began to pile up in the breakfast nook next to the kitchen. And then they kept piling higher. The house began to smell. They don't want to pay to have the trash picked up, thinking they could just throw it away in the nearby strip mall. However, the trash bins there were locked. I'm not sure what eventually happened with all the trash because it was still there when I frantically packed and moved out one day while no one was home. There was no official lease while I was there, so I ghosted them without any regrets and moved into the dormitory. Every time I hear the song Trash Day by Weird Al, Hot in Here by Nelly Parody, It makes me think of that house, and I laugh at the nightmare I escaped.
So there's just trash in there?
They had a trash monster.
Yeah, so they were just like leaving all of the trash in the corner, in the breakfast nook.
Ah!
Ew.
That's so gross.
I just don't
Ew.
understand.
They don't want to pay to have the trash picked up. Wow.
I just like
That's insane.
it doesn't like smells like I'm very affected by smells.
So am I. I'm very
So,
sensitive.
like,
I have a
to
very
smells.
sensitive nose.
yeah,
Yeah.
if something like when I go into my sister's house, it always smells weird, and I'm like,
Well,
why does it smell weird?
Because she's probably farting.
No, it's because they don't take their trash out. They like
Well-
leave it
Ugh.
there for like a while because neither of them wants to take a 5-minute, not even 5-minute walk, 5-second walk to the dumpster right outside there.
Okay. Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like,
But also,
oh,
you know, it's trash, and a lot of times people don't air out their houses. It's like you have to open
Stale.
windows and stuff, and so it gets like the air gets stale. I remember Riley. I had to tell him that he has to leave open his windows in his room when he lived here, because it would get stale in there. I'd come into his room and I go, Riley, it smells in here,
Riley smells.
and I do that to Sam too. Because you don't notice it. It's not like
Yeah.
oh, like it smells. How dare you? It's just like when you're in your room so often, you get used to the smell.
I just noticed like when I go into my like new room,
Mm.
I love the smell in there,
Aw.
and I'm like,
It smells so
it's so
good. I
nice.
need to come over to
It's
your
so
house.
nice.
At least you guys don't deal with Dakota when he just farts and he doesn't say anything about it. And I'm like, why'd you do that? Why do you let me just inhale that?
Why'd you
oh
do that?
no, he downstairs. He sits down. He's like, I just farted and it smells.
At least he says it now because I've shamed him so many times because I will smell it and I know what his farts smell like now because he does it so many times. And I look straight at him. He's like, how'd you get a whiff of that? I just
dare
did it.
you?
I'm like, dude.
How dare you?
It just no, literally, he was like, sorry, I just did it, and then he goes, and I was like, I don't want to smell. I said, stop. I don't want to smell it.
Stop.
Get away. And then the whole day he's been coming. He's just been annoying a lot of people.
Yeah,
I can't with
Dakota's,
them.
he big brothers.
No,
very well.
I know. And he said, it's just so fun.
I
It's
know.
so fun. I said, get away from me. He just kept, I was like on my phone. He kept running over and then would stop. And I'm like, what? And he just slapped my phone out of my hand and run away. And I'm like, stop.
You're giving him the power to do it. That's why he
Well,
can
'cause
never
I
do it with
didn't-
me.
No, but then he would come over and be like, what are you looking at? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm doing boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dakota's
Hey.
never had siblings, so he's making up for lost time.
And I bully him
Yeah.
because he bullies people.
This is gross. There's more stories. Partially Burnt Void says, in college, we had a house with 5 rooms, and for a while had a bunch of roommates come and go pretty quickly. This resulted in Steve, a random friend of a former roommate, moving in, and shortly thereafter, Steve's brother Kevin moving in, and a couple weeks later, Steve moved out. So we're now left with an empty room, and Kevin, who we really don't know and seems like a really sketchy guy. Turns out he was a really sketchy guy. Very heavy into substances and just generally trashy. One of my other roommates, Carl, let me know the morning after a party that someone is coming by to check out the room later. So we start cleaning up the cups and crap left over from the night before. My little brother had stayed the night, so we were cleaning the upstairs, and Carl was out front cleaning up some things in the front yard when the person coming to look at the room pulled up. Carl goes and introduces himself and starts showing her around the house. He brings her upstairs and introduces her to me and my brother, and then shows her to what would be her room. Finally, he walks her out, and my brother and I start talking about how she seemed kind of trashy and a little bit old to be interested in a room by a college campus like we had, but whatever. All of a sudden, Carl comes running up the stairs, laughing his butt off. He explains that after he'd finished the tour and walked out with the girl, she stopped and said, I don't think you know why I'm here. Carl responded, you're interested in the room we have, right? I see you. I see you. She responded, no, I'm a call girl. Someone named Kevin called for me. Turned out Kevin had called a spicy worker, and we just gave her a tour of the whole house. That's hilarious. I can't imagine what was going through her head as he's saying things like, and here's your room. This is my roommate and his brother. She must have thought she was getting into some crazy, freaky crap.
Yikes.
Needless to say, she didn't move in, and we encouraged Kevin to move out shortly after. Yeah.
Wait, so he called this, did he know?
Yes.
Oh.
He called her there.
Oh my God. And like, was he
Yeah.
not there?
I don't think he was there.
Oh. What a weirdo.
That's crazy. Man. Ultraviolet says, that's what I just said, Sophia. He's making up for not having grown up with siblings, and you girls are going to get it worse than the boys. Don't I know?
Yeah.
Don't I know? But don't worry.
I already have a brother.
I bother him too. And we got another story from Malice in Wonderland, who says, I live with someone who would regularly put very dirty dishes outside. Huh? Like she didn't want to clean them and they would smell, so they would just go on the porch.
Wait, what?
No.
For the rats?
Yeah, for like animals to come by and just lick.
When we moved out there was a crap ton of ruined plates,
Yeah.
bowls, pots, pan, even a crock pot, and the vegetable drawer from the fridge. Crazy laziness. That is crazy laziness.
Yeah, what?
I would not stand for that.
Literally just let it soak in the water or something.
I feel like she would just leave them soaking though, and then OP would still have to clean them. I don't know. I would not live with that person. I hate people who don't do their dishes. I had an ex roommate who didn't do her dishes, and then her boyfriend started coming over all the time.
Oh,
And then he didn't do his dishes?
And then he would leave all these dishes. Like he would bake things and be like, oh, I baked things, but then he wouldn't do the dishes. She wouldn't do his dishes. So I was doing all the dishes. And then it got so bad that I literally stopped. I would do my dishes immediately. So like none of my stuff was ever in the sink. And then she had the audacity to blame me. I found this out later. She blamed me for the dishes and told all of my friends that it was me leaving all the dishes. And they were all like, that doesn't sound like Sophia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was funny because literally that summer, they should have known that it wasn't true because that summer she was not there all summer and the sink was spotless. So I hate it when people do that.
My mom, like, engraved it into me to do dishes.
Yeah.
Like,
Pisses me
Same
off.
with mine. My mom very much like, you can leave dishes in the sink, but like at the end of the day,
Yes, exactly.
you put it all, you either are putting it in the dishwasher or you're cleaning it by hand and then you put it away in the morning.
never used, we had a dishwasher growing up. We never used it because my
really?
mom's like, you're hand washing the dishes.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh.
But I'm like, at this point, I kind of love washing dishes. I just put on like a video, listen to music, and I'm like, all right, let's scrub
I
away.
kind of
Let's do
liked
it.
doing it after a while because I would do it
I would-
throughout the day for the dad.
Yeah. When I was working at my old job at unnamed coffee shop, I would sometimes when like it was really busy, I would offer to do the dishes because if you didn't do them until the end of the night, you'd have like a
Yeah.
huge stack. So I'd be
Mhm.
like, hey, can I go back there and like get a start on it? And then I would go back there and just like put on music
Yeah.
and just like get into the groove of washing
Just-
dishes. It was great.
Get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad we have like a nice dishwasher now.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls, like, we just put all of our stuff in, and then like when it
Mm-hmm.
gets filled, whoever is there just, turns it on, whatever, and then
That's how
in the
you
morning,
do it.
like someone else will take it out and they'll just like put it on the thing, and then you put away your own stuff. I literally did it this morning. Like nobody told me to. Nobody, like it's just
That's nice.
I don't know.
Sophia just told her craziest or worst roommate. Well, was it was that your worst roommate?
I've not
story?
had many. I've only had two
Oh, I
like
have-
sets of roommates.
What's
Have
your
bad
worst?
stories?
Yeah, bad stories. You want to tell us some of yours?
I would. Oh my gosh, it's kind of long.
TLDR them. Yeah.
This story comes from Savannah.
This story comes from me personally. All right, TLDR. My first roommate in college. I'll give you the two. My first roommate in college got pregnant and left.
Damn.
So that was my first roommate
Oh my
experience.
god.
And I remember like she left.
Was she pregnant before you met her, or like during?
So literally she was there for like a month, and then she would go home like all the time the weekend to go see her boyfriend, blah, 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 blah. And she went home and then like never came back for like 2 months. And so I was like, but all her stuff was still in
Is
the
she
room.
okay?
And I was like, I don't know, and whatever. And I just like didn't have her number or anything. So I was like, I don't know. I
You
only
didn't have
knew
your
her
roommate's
for a month.
number.
Only knew her for a month. So I was like, I don't know.
exchanged numbers
Yeah.
with my roommates like
First
immediately.
day,
Oh.
like day
Before
one.
I even lived
yeah.
with them.
Yeah, day
Well,
one.
I don't
went-
know.
Just never
And
got
then
around to it.
one day I came back from like my class and she was just there, and I was like, oh. And I was like, hey, what's up? And she was like, oh, like nothing, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. And she was just like, yeah, I'm pregnant. And I was like, what?
Did she have like a?
And I said, is that a good
Yeah.
thing?
Did you want?
And she said, yeah. And I was like, oh, well, congrats, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, so I'm going to be moving out at the end of the month, blah, blah. And I was like, okay.
So
And then
presumably she had like a partner. or
So, yeah, so now she has like 5 kids. And I was like,
something.
all right.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girl that I lived with my freshman year, she had a baby two years ago.
Yeah, my other roommate, the one right after that, we were like so close. Loved her. We were great. She's my best friend, whatever. And then I went, she invited me over the summer to go on her family vacation. So I went, and it was only like, I don't even think a week or something. I don't know. It was only like 4 days, 5 days. I don't know. But I remember going, she was just like a brat to her family. She was so mean to them. She like didn't want to do anything. She didn't want to go to the beach. She didn't want to go to the pool. She just wanted to stay in her room and like text. And I was like, I kind of want to go out and do stuff.
Yeah.
And we were in New Jersey, and I was like, I want to go to the beach. I want to, we were at like a nice
You want to go to
hotel
the shore.
thing. I want to go to the shore. Jersey Shore. Come on. It's my favorite show now. But I didn't know at the time. I wish I had. I would have gone crazy. So then when it was like the last night, and we like went out to like this bar, whatever, blah, 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 and we like got a little tippy, and then little tippy. Then we were like walking home. This was like 2 a.m. And she's like, oh, like I have to go to the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, and I was like trying to like hurry then because she was like, oh, I have to pee so bad. I was like, okay, let's go. And then I was like walking in front of her. She's like, oh my God, like you don't even know where you're going. Why are you walking so fast? Blah, blah. I was like, well, you said you had to pee, so I was just waiting. She's like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. I snapped at her and I was like, you have been a brat this whole vacation.
That takes
like,
a lot for Savannah to do that.
It does. And I felt my face get red, and I was like, uh-oh, she's getting it. And I was just like, you've been this, that, and the other thing, blah, blah, blah. And she was just like, oh. And she was like, you're not welcome at my house anymore. None of all this stuff. And I said, well, all my stuff's there. So, and then she was just like, well, I'm going to call my parents and they're going to like agree with me. And you're not welcome, blah, blah, blah. So she like calls her parents. I call my parents. Well, I call my mom. Mind you, it's like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Mom, her name was Natalie. I'm like, Natalie is saying that I'm not allowed to stay at her house. All my stuff's there. Like, what do I do? And she was just like, go back to her house, blah, blah, blah. It's just, whatever, blah, blah, all this stuff. And then she's on the phone with her mom. She's like, Mom, Savannah wants to go see a Broadway show. And like, I want to come home. And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, Mom, she's lying. She's lying right in front. And I took the phone and I said, your daughter's lying to you. I was like, what is happening? And I was like, also, what Broadway show's happening at 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
Huh? Like,
doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. I was like, okay, no. And then she's like, oh my God, blah, blah. And she like starts crying, whatever. And then she starts to like leave to go to like, I don't know, the train or whatever. So she goes to the train and I'm like walking out. She's like, why are you following me? And I said, because my stuff's at your house. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm going. And she was like, you're not welcome. My parents aren't picking you up. You're not welcome at our house, blah, blah, blah. And she left. And she left me there in New York City for my first day ever in New York City at 3 a.m. now. And I went into a pizza shop and cried. And then these 2 girls came up to me and was like, what is wrong? I said, my roommate left me. I don't know where I am. And I can't get a hotel because I was only like 19 at the time. Yeah. I was like, I can't do anything. I don't know where I am. I can't. All my stuff's there. I have my phone, a pack of gum in my wallet. Yeah. And my phone's on like 20%. These girls ordered me an Uber to go to the airport. Aww. My mom was like, if anything, sleep at the airport, Yeah. Whatever, then get your stuff in the morning. I went to the airport and then we ended up going and I got my flight was supposed to leave the next morning.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the next morning. It was like the next like night. But my mom was like, let's change it, blah, blah, blah. So I go to like change it, but then my card's getting declined because it's like fraudulent, like, because it's a lot of money. And so I'm like, I can't even pay for a ticket, whatever. My mom's like, give me the phone to the lady, whatever. And so my mom like ends up getting me this like $500 ticket just to come home. I'm like, God. And I like go through like TSA, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I go and buy a phone charger out of a vending machine because nothing's really open. And it immediately breaks. And I'm like, oh my God. So I couldn't even charge my phone. And so my phone's on like 13% now. And I'm like, I gotta stay awake, but it's also like 6 a.m. and I'm like so exhausted. And my plane was gonna leave in like 2 hours. And I was like, I have to stay up. And then I finally got on like the flight and everything. And my dad picked me up and like, was like, oh my God, and oh my God. And like all this stuff. And then it's not even the crazy part.
That's not the crazy part.
Then I texted her and was like, hey, send all my stuff to me. Because I left. Because she was like calling me in the Uber, like, no, just come back. It's fine. Just come back. And my mom's like, do not.
Audacity.
And she was like, and also save your phone battery.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So she's like, oh, I'm like, give me my stuff back. And she was like, okay, well, you have to pay for it. And I said, no, I'm not paying for it. And she was like, well, I'm not sending it, all this stuff. And I said, and so my mom was like, ask for her parents' number, whatever. And I was like, can I have your parents' number? Blah, blah, blah. She gives me her dad's number. My mom starts texting him and is like, blah, 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 all this stuff. And he's like, oh, like, you know, she's telling me a different story and all this stuff.
Your daughter's a liar.
And then my mom tries to like call and whatever, and he keeps declining the call, and he's like, I can't talk, I'm at work, all this stuff. And my mom's like, this seems weird. Turns out it was her boyfriend. She gave her boyfriend's number to me. He pretended to be her dad.
So weird.
Yeah. Because she didn't want to get in trouble with her parents. And then my mom, we were at like dinner. This had been going on for the whole day.
Yeah.
We were at dinner because my mom's like, we're going to go to a nice family dinner. And then we're going to like a little like concert show afterwards. Yeah. And to like, I don't know, just like have a fun family time because everyone was so worried about me. And so we were at dinner and she texts him because she's just like, oh, you know, like, okay, played along for like the whole day. And then his name was like Billy or something. And she's like, okay. And by the way, I know this is Billy. I'll be getting in touch with your real parents. Have a good night. And then they start calling her. And she was like, her whole like motto was, don't play the player and everything. And she turned her phone off and she was like, screw this girl. And then she starts texting me. She's like, turn your phone off. Turn my phone off. And then I started texting her. I texted her brother because her brother was there. And he was like, what happened to you? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, your sister me out. I don't know. And he was like, oh my God, that is not what she said. Blah, blah, all this. And I'm like, of course
it's not what she said.
Yeah, and then we ended up trying to get in contact with her parents. They never answered. We got like the real numbers and they never answered. We found them on Facebook, never answered. Like, so she's just, I don't know.
What happened to your stuff?
Obviously. Oh, we got it sent, but we paid for it.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So yeah, that came, you know, like days later. But yeah, my mom, she has a hit list and she's like that. She's on there. She said that little witch.
Girl is crazy.
And she still has her number. The one we were like talking about, I think when she was here, and she was like, I'll call her right now. She goes, hi, Natalie. It's me, Savannah's mom. Just want to remember that you're a horrible person. I'm like, don't call her. What's wrong with you? I'm like, please. Yeah, so that's my roommate. That's my worst roommate story.
That's so much worse
that
than
was
mine.
That was not a TLDR. That was the whole thing. Sorry.
We were like, TLDR.
No, that was a good story, though. We can keep that in.
Cool. That's my worst roommate.
That's the whole story. And we're going to get into the next one.
Here we go. Now, this one comes from Deleted. They say, my first college roommate hated to do laundry. So when he ran out of clean underwear, he'd use mine. I repeatedly told him not to wear my underwear, but he kept doing it, thinking it was completely reasonable to borrow my stuff. As I described here some time ago, it felt weird wearing my own undies after he'd worn them, but at the time I couldn't afford to keep buying new ones every time it happened.
Okay, that is really weird that he's stealing your underwear to wear them. I mean, like, wash them if you can't afford them.
You can get, like, diseases. You don't know. Like, I don't even like sharing, like, you know, me and my sister had, like, a drawer when we were, like, little. Yeah. Obviously. But then, like, as we grew, now we, you know, don't share. But obviously, we'll share, like, shirts and whatever. Yeah. But, like, underwear is... I don't like
share underwear, but, like, I've lent and I've been lent underwear before.
Me too. Yes. But it's, like, under specific circumstances. Like... if things, for some reason, I needed new underwear.
This situation specifically, not okay that he's doing this, but realistically, if you wash them, they're fine. It is weird that he's doing that, not okay, but like, you'll be fine. You're also not going to get...
like the easiest thing to wash.
It's so easy. Yeah. So like, I feel for you, but you'll be okay.
I'd rather do laundry than dishes. I think laundry's
so easy.
I know. You just sit there, put on a show, and like fold, and then like hang up.
I do have to go fold my laundry after this, but
I know I finally folded mine, but I was moving, so I have an excuse.
My problem right now is that I have a box of clothes that I need to get rid of, and it's been in my room for like 2 weeks, and I need to put it
in my room for like 3 months.
Yeah, I need to put it into trash bags because the box broke, and then bring it to some sort of donation place.
Oh, we have another one from Deleted. I'm guessing different Deleted. Deleted says, my roommate was using a handkerchief for the first 3 months living together. He had like 2 or 3 dozens that he washes regularly. I asked him why not just use a tissue. He replies, what's a tissue? Introduced to him a box. Sorry. Introduced him to a box and a pack of tissues.
Is he from
absolute mind blown?
Is he from like the 1800s? He's like, a box of tissues? What is a tissue?
Honestly, I will say some people are not a tissue household, and it kind of pisses me off.
I did not grow up in a tissue household.
I hate that.
What kind of what
like you would just use like paper towels or napkins? No, that hurts your nose. Like
I didn't grow up as a tissue household.
My mom's always like, "Oh, get a tissue for your issue." She always like that's like her thing.
It was toilet paper.
No.
No way.
No.
That's-
Soft.
When you
No.
used the tissue for the first time, it was probably like was it like crazy?
I mean,
for
I
you?
used tissues when I was younger, just like
There would
weren't
not
really-
be like boxes around
There
your
wouldn't-
house.
yeah,
That's crazy. We have one in
yeah.
every room.
Yeah, no, we weren't like a box in every room.
Oh my
household.
god. No, that's crazy. What? So like when people come over and they're like, "Oh, can I need to blow my nose? Can I have a tissue?" You hand them a
Paper
paper,
towel.
towel.
Or I say go to the bathroom.
No, I hate that.
paper.
My brother, when he first was dating my sister-in-law, I went over to their apartment and they did not have tissues. And I said, "Where's the? Why is this a no tissue household? What's happening?" And she has allergies. I'm like, "Bae," I call her Bae. Her name's Nicole, but I call her Bae. I'm like, "Bae, what are you doing?" And she's just like, "What?" And I was just like, "There needs to be tissues." And my brother's just like, "I tell her," and I'm like, "You're not buying them either."
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? So
Yeah, you should be buying them if he's telling her.
No, not tissues. You can get, or not toilet paper. Use tissues. You can get them at the dollar store.
I don't know. Toilet paper's easy.
No, it's
It's easy.
gross.
Why?
Cause it's just like, tissues just phew, and you could just like
Toilet paper's
put
the
it-
same thing.
Toilet paper's like
My toilet paper's clean.
I don't want things that are going down there up here.
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Doesn't that happen sometimes though?
2-ply, 4-ply. You ever
honestly, it feels softer. Because
I'm gonna have to disagree. You ever had Plus lotion?
I don't know. Personally,
I'm a
Toilet paper?
stickler. I'm a stickler when it comes to tissues. Why isn't there a box in here?
I have been getting into wipes. Wipes are pretty nice. They're so versatile.
I'm not talking wipes.
Not for my nose, but like just like
Go on. Go on.
like for your hands. Like if
Yeah,
you're in the
sure.
car, you have them for
Oh,
your hands.
That,
and stuff.
I didn't know what else
Yeah.
to use to wipe for, and that was not what I thought.
You put them in the car. You could wipe like if you spill something.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
my dad likes wipes.
Yeah,
he
they're
also likes
great.
toothpicks.
They're great. For this guy, it seems like he's just like, well, he never knew about tissues, but however, pretty good for the environment.
No, tissue household. It's the right thing to do, and it's good for everyone. If I said, "Oh, can I get a tissue?" and someone hands me a roll of toilet paper, I'll say,
Give me a whole roll.
"I'm leaving."
You're
The
getting
only-
a whole roll.
yeah, I
you're,
was gonna
getting
say
two, you're getting two plies.
The only time that was
Getting two
acceptable,
plies.
well, it went tissues first because I also had crazy allergies, or I still do. Would be
Tissues.
well, tissues first, and then if I can't use tissues, paper towels. If we're out of paper towels for some reason or out of tissues, then toilet paper.
But paper towels are so much like rougher than toilet paper.
Paper towels horrid. Paper towels no.
Personally, I feel like paper towels are my last.
At that
last
point,
resort.
when I'm just, it's all just coming out of my nose. It don't matter.
Tissues are too like flimsy. They like break.
You don't have to. There's different kinds. There's 2-ply, 4-ply, whatever you want.
Okay.
Or you
I'm
could
just
use
saying.
toilet paper.
No, Sophie. There's also thin toilet paper, so I don't know what is this conversation?
I'm using real good toilet paper.
I
I get mine from Costco.
get mine from Costco.
Speaking of,
Whatever. Oh yeah, speaking of, came back with a Costco family pack of tissue boxes the same evening. You see, this could be a realization for you. This story
It's too
could be
expensive.
our story. Too expensive.
Expensive. It's too much
What
money.
do you mean? Toilet paper, I think, is more expensive than tissues.
No. Let's look it up.
What's more expensive, Keon? Tissues or toilet paper?
And I want like the same amount, like 6 rolls of toilet paper versus 6 boxes of tissue paper.
Okay.
That's what I want to know.
all right, hold on. Yes, facial tissues like Kleenex are generally more expensive per sheet or per gram than toilet paper. Key cost factors:
What?
cost per sheet. A box of facial tissues often costs more than a roll of toilet paper, which contains far more sheets. Tissues are generally made from higher quality, softer pulp, whereas toilet paper is designed for strength, dissolution, and cost efficiency.
No.
My toilet paper is so cost efficient.
What I'm putting on my butt, I am not putting on my
But it's the
face.
same thing.
I am not wiping my butt with a tissue. It is not the same thing.
You could though.
And I'm not. Because
just
I
wouldn't be
guess
as
what I go
effective.
poop and put a little
Yeah.
poop right in there.
Yeah, because it's not effective. It
For
rips.
that,
It
it's
rips.
effective for your nose though.
Dude, Kim Fine says, I will say dude wipes are good too. My boyfriend loves the dude wipes.
Love dude wipes.
Which I think is so funny that they have a brand of wipes called dude wipes. It's like, if you want to be a man and clean yourself, use dude wipes.
All right, next freaking story. Breakfast says, cook spaghetti in the sauce itself.
That's it.
That's it.
That was the weirdest thing that you could think of? That's a
spaghetti
normal thing. I don't do it.
Spaghetti
Yeah.
in the sauce.
Mhm.
My mom cooks her meatballs in the sauce. Like
No.
she makes it in the morning, puts the meat in there, like raw
Yeah.
meat.
But you can,
then it
so
cooks all
I
day.
don't personally do this, but if you put enough sauce in it, you can like boil the sauce with the spaghetti or like put a little bit of water in there and it like boils it and then you get like a nice little spaghetti. I've seen someone do it before. It just makes it easier.
Now you're
I guess.
just being difficult.
I'm not. I don't do this personally, but that is a thing. It's just a different way to cook spaghetti.
I don't know.
I don't think that was weird enough for you to submit this story.
I think it was. I've never heard of that.
To an Italian.
Yeah, you're
To
saying
an
it's too
Italian.
Italian?
I feel like Italians do that.
No, we
Spaghetti
cook the meat.
cooking?
We cook the meat.
Do Italians cook spaghetti?
Now you're just stereotyping.
Italians cook spaghetti. Cook
In
pasta
their
in sauce. Yes, Italians almost always finish cooking pasta directly in the sauce.
Oh, finish cooking it is
Rather
different,
than
but
pouring
not like
sauce on
just
top.
putting it in like raw. Like you don't put raw noodles in the sauce.
Can you?
Like how do you even
Because
know?
you need the pasta water too.
Yeah, it needs to boil. Like
But
it's,
yeah, I know, but you can put a little bit of water in the sauce.
But if you boil your sauce, you're gonna burn the sauce.
yes, you can cook pasta directly in the sauce, a technique that creates a creamier texture and infuses more flavor into the noodles. This method works best by simmering the pasta in a thinned out sauce using extra broth or water,
Does that make the
or
noodles?
by adding partially cooked pasta to the sauce, allowing it to
Yes.
absorb the liquid.
Does that make the noodles more like al dente?
Oh,
Like a little hard. Probably. I mean, it depends on how long you cook it, I suppose.
Personally, I don't like
You'll
al
never see
dente.
me. You'll never catch me doing that.
I'm going to try it just to piss you off.
Watch it be so bad.
It's gonna be tonight. I'm gonna be.
No, you're cooking for me tonight.
It's true. I am. You can make whatever you like.
Yay.
Next story is from Euphoric Slumber, and they say, I had a roommate that would call her dad to come over from the other part of the city to take the trash out. When I realized this was happening, I just started taking the trash out regularly so that there was literally never any trash in the house, so that she would stop calling her dad to drive all the way across the city and take out our garbage. And this was in LA.
Stop.
Oh my gosh.
Stop.
He's driving. Sorry, I'm itchy.
He's driving from like the valley at night. How late at night? Hopefully later, because I don't want him to be hitting all that traffic just to take your trash out.
That's
Leftovers.
crazy.
That is ridiculous. And why is he doing that?
Leftovers is different. I actually prefer leftover pasta than fresh. I love it the next day. It's so good the next day.
Yeah, I like eating up a little leftover pasta.
Anyway, next one. Gerard Groves says, my roommate stole half of all my socks. Over the course of a year, I slowly thought I was going insane. I had 3 separate piles of odd socks. Desperately trying to pair them up, I was buying brand new pairs and they would still end up odd.
Oh, so the roommate's not even stealing
The pair. It's
the
just
whole pair,
stealing
just one sock. She's like,
That's-
she'll never notice.
That is such gaslighting.
My sister used to
That's
do
crazy.
that.
What?
Just steal one sock?
She was like, those are my socks. I'm like, no, those are my socks.
I mean, you should be able to tell, no?
I mean, I do have like favorite pairs
No,
of socks.
exactly. But I'm like, what? Why are you taking my socks? I was like, hey, have you seen my socks? She's like, no.
Yeah.
And there are times where like I would go into her room, go in her sock drawer and be like, what the?
What is this? You lied to me. I take my mom's socks all the time, but I ask her.
But you ask her. My sister blatantly was like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I stole my sister's shirt and I had it for like, I'd say at least 2 months.
Yeah.
I've had it and I never wore it.
Oh,
But I
damn.
was like, I want to like wear it. I've worn it here once. And that was the day, the one day I wear it. I like FaceTimed her and was like, oh, like asking what she was doing. She said, where'd you get that shirt? And I'm like, see ya. I was like, I said, I bought one. And she said, no, you didn't, liar. And I was like, yeah, huh? Because my older sister actually bought the same gift for Christmas for each other. And it was that shirt. And I said, I asked like my older sister, I was like, I asked Issy like where she got it. And she told me, and this is my shirt. She's like, you are a
Gaslighting.
liar.
Gaslighting. Dang.
And I said, anyway, what are you doing later? She said, no, you took my shirt. And guess who still has it?
And guess who doesn't have odd socks? Or does have odd socks, I suppose.
Every morning would be a harsh reminder that my life was off balance as I desperately attempted to loosely match vague colors. It's so poetic. I had begun to accept my odd sock fate and possibly my loss of sanity, when for Christmas, my housemate gave me a box. Inside were all my missing socks. It turns out that for an entire year, whenever I would hang my laundry to dry, he would steal one sock. Never enough for me to notice, but enough to slowly but surely drive me to the brink of madness.
That's actually hilarious.
Oh, nice reference.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look at you quoting movies.
I've seen movies.
Yeah. No, I also, Kirillov, cannot, where I'm very, well, actually, I'm better now, but I do suffer from OCD, and I have never in my life worn different socks. I cannot do it.
wear mismatched socks all the time. I'm not
can't.
currently wearing them.
I can't do it.
I'm wearing the same socks
in
right
my
now.
head, the OCD is a point system.
But-
Same thing with like stepping on cracks. If I step on one, I'll have to. It's a point system.
However, though,
Cross country was horrible.
However, I did get rid of all of my mismatched odd socks recently. When I have,
Wow.
that's why I have that box of clothes. And my closet is there's so much more space in my closet now. Ever since I got rid of that box of clothes that I haven't actually got rid of. Still is
the
in
box
my
of
room.
clothes that just like
Yeah.
is still
It
in
just
your room and
shifts.
actually like now
It's
spread out.
Yeah,
because
now
the
it's
box
no
is
longer a
broke.
box of clothes. It's just a mat of clothes.
It's starting to look like my room. That's
Yeah,
just
it's so sad.
not unpacked.
My room is so neat, except for that box of clothes.
How am I supposed to say this name? Ooh. Oh, good. Okay, so we're all on the same page. Okay. This next one comes from Ooh. They say, piled all the dishes they used in their room, including pots and pans, went on a search for them with another roommate when we went to cook and had nothing, only to find multiple 2-foot piles on a table.
What?
I don't know that they thought it was normal as much as something deeper going on there.
Strange. I have no thoughts on that. Just strange.
Yeah, I don't know.
Give me those back.
Next one is from Lucky287. What? That's not a 7. Anyone else? Did anyone else see a 7? 'Cause
Wrong.
I saw a 3.
Dakota
but I
actually said that earlier. He does that too.
Just
Swear.
makes up numbers.
No, he does that with 3s and 7s.
Interesting.
Do you do it with green and orange? I do that all the time.
No.
You guys
It's a thing.
just have issues.
No, where you're like, oh yeah, the green thing. Oh my gosh, orange.
No.
Orange and green. I always
No.
get.
Nope, never done that before.
It's a thing. Look it up.
Some people have left and right problems. I don't understand that.
I know a girl who,
I
was
guess it's-
who had tattooed
Yeah.
L and R for.
That is like a common problem, and I
crazy.
genuinely don't understand it.
The right and left. I've always known what's right
It's
and left.
very like as a
I don't
child, I was like,
understand.
oh, I don't know, and then like I engraved into my brain L, just L, left,
Yeah.
very easy.
I
This
don't
is not an L.
understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I never understood why people had difficulty with that, but it's a common thing.
Did you ever do like the counting with like the months?
Oh, like learning what the order of the months is?
No, like how many days?
Oh,
in a
no, I
month.
don't know how many days are in a month. I
There
know
was a
February is
system-
28.
I never learned it, but a lot of my friends at my school knew it. They're like, oh yeah, like January has like, you know, it's like 30,
31.
20. It's something with this. I don't know. Chat.
I would love to know.
Yeah, it's something I've
all
never
I know
learned
is
it,
February is 28, and that's all I got.
Next one is Lucky283. Says, had a roommate that had the most disgusting pairs of underwear on the planet. Yes, I meant pairs. Every single one of them. Straight up rancid, completely devoid of elastic. Whites faded to a musty, crusty
Ew.
yellow with God knows what discolored patches on the crotch.
Ew.
How did the rest of us know this? She'd wash them and hang them out to dry on the common balcony in direct
Ew.
view of every room and the first thing visible when anyone visited our apartment.
That's gross. She got to get new underwear.
I would gift her for Christmas or her
Yeah.
birthday a pack of new underwear.
You're supposed to get new underwear like every, what?
I think it's like 3 months or
Yeah,
something.
I don't do that, but
Oh my God, I've had underwear since I was like in
Yeah.
5th grade.
oh yeah. I wear my underwear until it breaks, but however,
Until it breaks.
but it's clean. Like it doesn't look like that. But also it does break easier because I get the seamless ones.
Flutterfly for you. Dips are 30, so 30, 30, and then the hills are 31.
But
So,
what
like,
do I start with?
You
Is
start
this
with
January?
30. Well, this would be like 28.
Which one's January?
I think.
Which one's
So, like, you
January?
go like this. It's like January something, and then you flip.
This doesn't make any
Oh, wait,
sense.
no, you're right. It is the knuckles. It's the knuckles. I'm doing this. It's knuckles. It was knuckles. I'm sorry. That's why this makes no sense. I'm using
January 30.
yeah, so like it's like
February 28.
so like the dips are
This didn't tell me anything. What happened next?
someone explain it. It was knuckles. Thank you, Alicia. It was knuckles. This next one is Ciscoda, and they say had a roommate that smoked. He would start coughing at night and would cough up these huge globs of phlegm. Oh, no. Oh, God.
Oh, I would hate.
Rather than
hate
spit the
that.
phlegm into a tissue, toilet, etc., he would spit it into a clear drinking
Ew.
glass. My other roommate and I found several of these glasses in his room. It's like making me.
This is the grossest story of them all, I think.
That, along with some other stuff, caused us to ask him to move out. Yep.
Yeah, genuinely so gross. Oh, that's terrible. Would he smoke in the apartment? Because that's even worse. It's tough, I think, living with people who are like really bad smokers, like smoke in the house, do like this extent.
Oh, I hate, like,
You could smell it on them too.
yeah. See, I don't mind smoking, but
I hate-
do not do it in the house.
Yeah.
It's everything smells like that. Why would you
Yeah.
want to smell like that?
Yeah.
Even in car. Don't.
Oh my God, some people
like,
can't smoke in the car.
I hate. Yeah. Oh my God, everyone
It's
smokes in the car.
pervasive. It's pervasive.
It's disgusting because even if you
Yeah.
get like pulled over, like that's what it smells like. Or
I
like people come
personally-
in your car, that's what it smells. I love
Yeah.
a clean car,
Yeah.
clean room, clean house.
No, personally, I have a really sensitive nose, specifically like tobacco smoke. You know?
I hate the
like
smell of
you know
tobacco.
like a cigarette smoke. I can't be around it. Like when I was in Europe, it was so hard because everyone smokes there.
I
It is
hate
so
the smell of
constant.
cigarettes.
Yeah, I
And
cannot
it's-
stand it.
My mom, I think it's because my mom used to like smoke all the time. I mean, she still does, but
Oh,
like she
yeah.
swears she didn't smoke in the car with us. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah.
We'd be like, Mom, like, you know,
Yeah,
our heads are out the window. It smells. And she'd be like, Mama.
My mom was like so anti-smoking. Like she was that type of mom who would be like, you know, we'd see smokers in public and she's like, that's disgusting. And
Oh,
so
really?
I was like the type of kid to like walk past like someone smoking and be like,
Wow.
yeah. I didn't do anything for them, but it felt like I was fighting a battle.
I want to get it. I want to get it.
Apparently my grandmother was telling me, she lives in Australia. She was telling me recently when I went to visit, she was like, I used to be like a really, you know, bad smoker, like smoked all the time. And she didn't stop, like she would, you know, do it while my mom was growing up and everything. When my mom was pregnant, she went to my grandmother and said, you cannot meet my child unless you stop smoking. And she did. She hasn't smoked since.
Wow.
Yeah.
This next one comes from Nonchalant Pedestal. And they say, in college, my roommate pretended he had a girlfriend who lived in England. We are in the U.S. Used to talk
Okay.
to her on the phone and everything while we would both be in the dorm. My roommate has Facebook friends with her, of course, and a few of her friends who he had met while visiting her. He used to talk about how much he missed her, especially having spicy sleep with her, etc.
I definitely have spicy sleep with my girlfriend who I'm with for sure.
She lives in
Yeah.
the UK.
You can never meet her. She lives abroad. She goes to another school.
She goes to another country.
Found out after I moved, she never existed. Fake profile, fake name, fake pics. He was talking to no one except himself on the phone.
Crazy improv skills. Get this guy into a show right
Honestly,
now.
I could probably talk for hours
Yeah.
to myself.
He's like, oh, how's what's it like across the pond?
Did you talk to your mom about that? Wait,
No.
your mom found out?
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh,
You're
what'd she say?
kidding. What?
No. Oh my gosh, your sister too? No.
Oh Lord. No, my sister would
Yeah.
never do that. No.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
if
no, I
that
talked
happened to
my-
me,
I
I don't
told my
even know what I would
dad.
do. Like,
That's crazy.
I have no idea why he'd go to such lengths for this lie, but it felt really weird about the whole thing once I found out.
Yeah, why would he create this whole story?
Oh, another story from the old Kanye West.
Okay.
Rip.
He was cool.
He says, not me, but my girlfriend's brother went through this. He lived in a quad with 3 other dudes. All met through Facebook before moving in. Everyone was pretty normal until about a month in. The one guy would never leave his bed and would only eat pizza. He would leave the empty pizza boxes in his bed and either sleep with them on top of or under him. He never threw them out.
It's like a
One
little
time,
blanket.
I like went on a couple of dates with this one guy, and like I was at his house, and I was like trying to sleep over, and he ordered a pizza from 7-Eleven
Oh.
at midnight,
What?
and I was like, "This is
Ew.
gross." I was already like kind of icked out, and then he left it in his room, and I was like, I literally
night?
I could not fall asleep for like 2 hours because it was just so noxious. So I eventually I was like, what am I doing? And I got up, grabbed the pizza box, and put it in his fridge, which was also empty.
Oh. Like nothing
Just
in
moved
there?
There was nothing in there.
That's weird.
I know, yeah. And then he
Yeah.
ghosted me, so thank God.
Woo!
Coincidentally-
dodged a bullet.
Ran into him last week.
What?
Oh, that's the guy?
Yeah, I ran in. Wait, crazy story really quick, sidetrack. I went on a hiking day with my boyfriend and his cousin, and he was like, let's go to this random place, you know, that we've never gone to before. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. In the canyon. And so we go to this random place, and we're about to pull into the parking lot, and the parking lot is like closed. So we turn around, and we're turning around. As we were turning around, I lock eyes with the car behind us, and it's the guy. And I'm like, I literally like go, oh my God. And my boyfriend and his cousin are like, what? I'm like, I went on a date with that guy. And then we get out of the car, and he drives past, and then later I'm like, my boyfriend's like putting sunscreen on me, and he walks past us, and him and his friend are like giggling. It's weird. I'm like, that's so weird. Wow. And then later, finally, I'm like, there's no way, because there's all these other paths. I'm like, there's no way we're gonna see him again. And so his cousin's taking pictures of me and my boyfriend, and him and his friend are coming down the hill towards us, and we're like, oh my God, okay, we're just gonna like say hi and get it over with.
Yeah.
And we hear them from a distance say, should we take a picture for them? I'm like, what? And so he comes down, he's like, hey. And I'm like, hey. And he's like, that's so funny, the car thing. I'm like, yeah. And then he walks away.
Didn't even take a picture?
No. We just overheard him say that. Yeah, so that was my crazy story. Anyway, we can get back to the story.
Weird.
So I understand your pain of the pizza boxes, because they are very noxious.
I have eaten in my bed and then taken a nap, and then I'm like, oh, but then I throw it away.
Yeah.
I don't leave it there. Yeah,
and
no.
The thing is, like, this wasn't just any pizza. This was a 7-Eleven pizza.
Yeah, so it's nasty.
It's smelly.
The real nail in the coffin was when he apparently clogged the toilet. The plunger wasn't getting the job done, and after 15 minutes, he panicked. He walked out of the bathroom, took a wire hanger out of his closet, fashioned it into a stick, and went back in. The toilet flushed. He came back out, fashioned the hanger back into a hanger shape, rinsed it off, and put a shirt back on the hanger until I closet. No! That's a poo-poo hanger! No! Why did you put a poo-poo hanger? No! Why? There is an edit here. Any sensible person would throw the hanger out. Don't defend this crap.
Yeah, no, I'm not defending that. That's disgusting.
You shouldn't. You should not defend that.
Disgusting.
That's just, how do you defend that?
That's disgusting.
It's a wire hanger. Throw it out.
Throw it out. It's gone. It's gone. Oh boy.
There is another one from Brune. Brune says, another one. This one was effing crazy. The moment I first walked into the room, the living room had a smell I couldn't place. For weeks, I was bugged by this smelly smell that smelled smelly.
I could smell that smelled smelly.
Smelly
I couldn't put my finger on it, but it smells smelly.
It's a SpongeBob reference. You wouldn't get it.
No. Ah.
When his eye twitched, he's like, that smell, that smells smelly. And I ended up moving the furniture around to see if I could find it. No dice. Finally, I literally got on my hands and knees and started sniffing for the source.
Like a dog?
Me, though. I do this. I'm like, I can smell something.
No.
I go crazy.
No. It led me to the dresser with one of my 5 roommates' names on a sticky note. Of course, I had never opened it. He was gone this weekend, so I took the shot. I opened the drawer for half a second because the instant I opened it, fly shot the F out. I slammed that mother fricka closed and said to the other roommates, John Fan, get the tape. You could have watched it.
I'm throwing that drawer out.
John Fan, get the tape. Hurry, quickly now.
Bring gloves.
We taped it shut, moved the dresser outside onto the outdoor walkway, and opened it up and bolted. Again, flies, but this time the source was plain to see. A Carl's Jr. bag with a grease spot underneath it, covered with nasty larvae shells, etc. I didn't dare look into the bag. It was disposed of in an outdoor trash can. Then we cleaned the drawer with soapy water. There was no indication the roommate had used this drawer. There was even a brand new packaged power strip and some canned soda in there. Bonus! Later in the year, I entered his room to take out the trash, and his desk was effing so gross. Old boba cups with fruit flies on it, trash and stuff. And he was a medical biology major. You'd think he'd understand the importance of cleanliness.
Gross.
No.
Disgusting.
This one is from a Renaissance slacker. They say, college girlfriend's roommate's boyfriend. Okay. Was a little odd, but okay when we first met him. Then in the middle of a party, when he was really wasted, he very matter-of-factly... Whoa. unclothed,
Whoa.
carefully moved everything from the kitchen sink cabinet and arranged it on the floor, crawled in and pulled the door closed.
Whoa. Okay.
Honestly, life of the party right there.
Sure.
I'd be like, what are you doing? We mentioned this to his girlfriend. She shrugged and said, yeah, he does that when he's wasted.
And you know what? They're meant to be. They're meant to be. She goes, yeah, that's just him.
So he's just
does
completely
that. He
naked.
does that. And he's done this multiple times.
Yeah, he does that.
That's a thing he does.
I had an ex, like, where when he would get, like,
He wants to
wasted,
be a rat.
he didn't know what to do with his hands, and it was so funny.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey!
Yeah.
And they would just go, I'm like, look at his hands. That's how you know it. They would just be
Yeah.
dinosaur hands. I loved it, though. But this is another level. I would love this man. Not long after we were at a party, when it was getting late, girlfriend is wandering around the party asking, where is boyfriend? Someone points out his clothes and shoes are stacked by the front door, and that he was completely unclothed in February.
Oh, that's
in
cold.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's real
6
cold.
inches of fresh snow outside. It was maybe 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and home was almost 2 miles away.
Genuinely, I am worried about this man now. Now I feel like we need to go rescue him and bring him a blanket because he might
that's
freeze.
just a Philadelphia man right there.
He's like, I'll be fine.
So I might actually know who that is.
What?
This happened to my cousin, but the thing is, this guy is now passed away,
Oh.
and that happened. He got really whatever, took all his clothes off, went into the woods. They found him like 5 days later. And so I don't know if that's it. I hope it's not, but ay.
Yikes.
That's what it reminded me of, because it was like Pennsylvania in February. But I was like, ooh, all these things are adding up.
Could be.
Hopefully,
I mean,
this guy is alive.
these are from our people.
Yeah, I
Our viewers.
really don't know. Was your ex the chef from the Muppets? Oh my! I used to call him Chef. His name was Thomas. I used to call him Chef Thomas. That's so funny.
Did you know that?
That's weird. And this next one is from Squeeze It Girdle.
Squeeze girl.
They say, used to live with a very, very large guy. I forgot his real name because everyone called him Crumb.
Victor.
Crumb. Doom.
Everyone called him Crumb, but not even like the right spelling of crumb. For always having crumbs all over his shirt.
Okay.
Everyone should call me Wait, my cousin does call me Stain, but that's not the reason.
What's up, Stain?
Stainy. I love her. Shout out Stain. Stain Nation 2K26. Anyways, after losing a job and accepting a different job for less pay, I needed a roommate, so I moved in with the guy. First day I moved in, he tried raising the rent we agreed upon by $100.
Whoa.
Then when I was surprised and said that's not what we agreed on, he muttered under his breath that this is a bad idea and he's going to regret it.
Okay.
He didn't have a job, but I was confused how he still has money and how he paid rent. I was dumbfounded, but for some reason didn't move out right there. Something I noticed while living there was that he never left the living room aside from answering the door for pizza. Otherwise, he was there at all hours playing D&D with people online. I introduced him to a girl, hoping he'd move and hang out with her. Instead, he just chatted with her online. The place ended up getting cockroaches,
Ew.
and it was disgusting. Then the kicker is he literally cracked the toilet by sitting
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's sad.
no. Not to mention how it was depressed into the ground. I had a girl over with me and she couldn't stop laughing about the toilet. I really need a visual representation to
Aw.
describe how bad it
That's kind of
was.
sad.
Aw, crumb.
That's sad.
Crumb, he's so much bigger than a crumb.
Oh.
When I moved in, the kitchen was disgusting and he promised to clean it. He never did, so I did it to be nice. It didn't take long for it to get disgusting again and he never cleaned. He just lived off Pizza Hut. Ew. And the worst pizza chain out there.
Yeah.
Eventually, I got sick of living in the crap hole. Literally, I was very sick and couldn't leave my bed for a week. So I told him I was moving out. As I was moving out, there was a note on the door that I owed $4,000.
No.
Which in retrospect never made sense since I only lived there for maybe 5 months in unpaid rent. I didn't think clearly and got pissed off at him demanding to know what he had been doing with my money. Later, after I calmed down, I saw the note was addressed to him, but he whited out his name and put mine.
Stop.
Whoa.
Illegal?
Yeah, that's not good. I called the apartment complex only to find out they've been out of business for months.
Wait, you've been squatting?
With the entire time I lived there was no one for him to pay rent to. He was basically squatting. He was pocketing the money I was giving him. Whoa!
That is the craziest story that
twist.
we've read.
What a twist!
What a twist.
That is crazy. Wow.
And I think we'll end there on that story. No? Well,
Nope.
never mind. We won't end there.
And we won't stop there.
No,
Bring
sir.
it on. This next one is from Ani3D. They say, thought they could clean the shower by leaving it running super hot with the door closed all day. Maintenance
That's
had to come
stupid.
pry the door off its frame just to get it open. The wood had swelled up so much from all the moisture.
They're so dumb. And also the water bill
yeah, what?
Yikes.
There's literally a thing called shower spray.
or squeegees. You squeegee the shower.
Yeah.
So
And
easy.
There's also a thing called brush that you can brush if you want. Or even, I'll do you one better. A rag. Carter Layson says, I lived in a single room dorm with a girl who was an agriculture major. She'd have to go feed cows on the school farm, and then she'd wear her crap-covered boots back into our room and just leave them by her bed. It was
Yuck.
smelly.
That's gross.
No,
Ick.
I couldn't even like go in the car. I couldn't. I would have to like.
Yeah, I'd have to rinse them off.
No. That's poo-poo. This next one is from Sea Chemical. They say, I had a roommate who was obsessed with her health. The only problem was the things she tried were usually outrageous and never in moderation. It was pretty common for her to eat the same food over and over again. I didn't start to get concerned until her hands and feet turned deep orange from the insane amounts of carrots she had been consuming.
That can happen?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, your skin.
That was the thing. That was like That's So Raven episode?
I don't know, but I'm
was.
watching That's So Raven.
It was
so I'll
a
tell you
That's
when I
So
get
Raven
to it.
episode where she just eats a bunch. She like only eats carrots, raw carrots, and her skin becomes orange.
Wow.
Crazy.
It's an actual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was a thing, but I've just never really
Does
heard of the
Does
case
Raven
of it.
ever stop things from happening?
That's the whole thing. Is
I think
she
that's why you have to
tries
watch it.
So she's Cassandra, the seer.
Yeah.
She can only
She-
see the future, but she cannot
She
stop it or
sees
prevent
it.
it.
Sometimes she's, but like it always ends up happening
So what's the point of seeing the future?
because she's like, oh, like this is gonna happen, like so I have to do this
Because
And
that's
she-
and then she usually like creates problems.
because
for
Sophia,
people.
that's so Raven.
Dang,
Or
she
she, like,
literally is
she
Cassandra.
takes it like her parents the one vision she had was like, I can't do this anymore. She's like, oh my gosh, my parents are gonna get a divorce, and it was literally like really
Mediocre.
dumb. Yeah, and then she was like, oh my god, and so like she deciphers differently.
I
Obviously.
feel like
it's fun.
if she always gets it wrong at a certain point, if I were her,
show.
It's also she's in
kid
high
show.
school.
I don't know.
Yeah,
if I
she's
were
in high
her and I'd
school.
always got the vision wrong, I'd eventually be like, maybe I should stop interfering.
I mean, yeah, but what's the fun?
It's true.
What's the
For the show, it makes
fun?
sense.
This next one's from I'm a Fungi. They say, I had a female roommate that fed her dog used. Oh my, what? That's
Animal.
Why would the dog eat? Oh my,
Oh God.
that fed her dog used tampons because he likes them. That makes me Once a month, there'd be little tampons scattered around the yard.
They developed.
That one got me.
Gross.
The poop hanger.
Gross.
That was gross, but
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with this one.
This
Was
one is
And
pretty.
that's
awful.
why that one was saved for
oh,
last.
and that was the last one. Oh, I don't want to end
Ew.
on that note.
Yeah.
Ewy.
Well, folks, we read some gross, disturbing, weird roommate stories. So please let us know in the comments if you guys have any other weird, gross, disturbing roommate stories. But that's the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
And we love you.
And see you tomorrow. Hey, don't leave yet. We've got some stories that we think you'll enjoy, so stay tuned for the next one.
My mother-in-law wants to exclude kids from the wedding, but it's my wedding.
Exclude her from living. I said it and I meant it.
All right, here comes the cast. Ages guessed by how old they are now, minus the 3 years in this story. Karen, the entitled mother-in-law, and the devil in disguise. We've got Dave, the father-in-law, Karen's husband, actually a really great guy. John, my husband. Lily, John's sister and mother of Leo, 13. Logan, 9. And Laura, 5. Mark, John's older brother and father of Matthew and Mary, 10 or 11. There are a lot of names. And then you've got Wienerhead. Wienerhead is the youngest of Karen's children, the entitled mother-in-law, and the only one who's a total Wienerhead. I cannot stress enough how much this guy...
Boom. Look at that.
Hey, by the way, just in case you didn't know, this comes from user deleted. And if you want to submit your own stories, you can go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my husband's mom, Karen, hates kids. I've met very few people who hate children as much as Karen does. She likes them once they're adults, which is why she loves all 4 of her children now. But 2 of her 4 kids have their own children, and she hates the grandkids. That's such a huge red flag. Before each of her children turned 18, she put a roof over their head, made sure they had food on the table and the lights were on, but she found them annoying and irritating when they acted their age, and was always very quick to anger, and would only deal with them when they acted like adults. So my father-in-law, Dave, did the bulk of the parenting. He also did the shelter, the food, and the warming thing, while Karen was cold and distant. Once each kid turned 18, she'd take them on a one-on-one trip somewhere she wanted to go. My husband's sister went to Paris, his older brother to Rome, my husband to Athens, and his younger brother to New York, and gave them the exact same speech. They compared the speeches they got, and it was nearly identical, about how she finds it hard to talk to kids because she's just too mature to understand them, and about how badly she wanted to make up for the lost time and become friends or something like that. John, Lily, and Mark all wanted to cut contact with her as soon as they moved out, but they loved their dad too much to lose touch with him. And as Dave and Karen are still married, they're kind of a package deal. Wienerhead remains his mother's loyal lapdog, willing to do whatever she says. Karen has trips planned for her grandkids when they're 18, psycho behavior, which Leo, now 16, is already trying to get out of. She has gone one step further with the grandkids in that while she was cold and distant with her children, but never went out of her way to be cruel to them, with the grandkids, she is downright cruel. This ranges from telling them the adults are talking whenever they try to speak, to excluding them from monthly family dinners by picking adults-only restaurants, or saying that she and Dave don't have enough room for them at their place, and getting Wienerhead to go along with it.
You know what we tell Karen? These nuts are talking.
I'm actually like a specimen in a jar. I am fascinated by Karen. How could one possibly hold such a perspective on their own kids and grandkids? You are like a little science experiment I want to poke and prod.
You are true. This is a OK Storytime first, where you've segmented your weird Karen-ness.
And they turn 18, and then you're like, oh my God, bestie, yay, we can finally talk now that you're mature. It's like, actually, you're probably the one lacking the maturity. My God. I met John about 7 years ago when Karen tried to set me up with Wienerhead. Long story short, Wienerhead wasn't the best conversationalist, and I found John far more interesting. A couple years later, John proposed, and 3 years ago, we got married. When John and I got married, we agreed that we didn't want a big wedding, but we did want to invite the kids, as Karen always tried to exclude them, and John loves his nephews and nieces and wanted them to be there. We invited 50 people in total, and only 4 couldn't make it, which means 46 came. And that made up about 4 tables of people. It's a big round table, it is. Oh, the seating plan was decided months in advance, and then we talked to the parents who would be coming. Pretty much just Mark and his husband, and Lily and her husband, and asked how they wanted to do this. The options were basically either a table just for the kids, or the kids sit with their parents. And we were fine with either option. The parents asked if we could do a kids' table, bringing it to 5 tables, but have it right near where they'd be sitting with the adults, which John and I agreed to. And with the parents' help, we worked out a separate kids' menu for that table so they'd all eat. Lily also asked if Leo could sit at the adults' table, which we agreed to. The idea of this is that if the kids got disruptive or had any issues at that point, their parents could go over easily and get them to calm down or fix the problem. We also agreed to keep 2 chairs free at that table, so if a parent was needed, they could go sit with their kids. We labeled these seats as the RP seats for rotating parent because the parents assumed that they'd all need to take a turn in these seats at some point. Another thing that is stressing me out is my friend's situation. I actually got my dress from a friend who works on my favorite anime. Don't want to say it, but it does revolve around a demon who slays. They're talking about Demon Slayer.
Oh.
Which is goated. Anyways, they are from Missouri and recently moved to LA. They want to come to my wedding but can't because they're considering working for a card shop in Hollywood. She is tight on money and just applied to the card shop. She isn't sure if this is a good idea because of the management, but really enjoyed the guys who work there. She seems stressed, and I want to ask her to be my bridesmaid. What do I do? She said she may be bringing a +1 from the shop. About 2 weeks before the wedding, we had all the in-laws around our place for dinner when Wienerhead announces loudly that he's going to the bathroom. Cool, didn't need to know that. Thanks, Wienerhead. He walks off. The layout of the flat where we were in at the time meant that to get to the bathroom, you had to go through the bedroom, and Wienerhead knew this, so we didn't think anything of it when Wienerhead went into our bedroom. He came out 5 minutes later, dinner resumed, and we thought nothing of it. The next day, we get a call from Karen. As I said, it's been 3 years, and this was a verbal conversation, so there's some paraphrasing here. Karen, hi, OP. I just wanted to let you know that Dave and I won't be coming to the wedding. Me, what? You're John's parents. He wants you there. I want you there. Dave is walking me down the aisle. That is how badly we both want you to be there. Karen says, you want a babysitter, which we never agreed to. Me, Karen, everyone knows that you don't like kids. We would never make you the babysitter. We don't even have a babysitter. Where did you even get that from? Karen, Wienerhead saw your seating chart. He told me that your chart has 2 seats that say GP for grandparent right at the children's table. We will not be your babysitters. Me, it's RP for rotating parent. Stupid! Lily and Mark came up with it. It's a couple of places at the kids' table for them and their husbands to sit if one of the kids needs them. Karen, bull poop! It's free babysitting! Wienerhead told me it said GP, so don't treat me like I'm stupid. Well, me. Karen, you can come over and look yourself. I'll get it out of the... I realized then that the seating chart was in the bedroom in a folder buried under a pile of clothes. Oh, so did you tell Wienerhead to go through our stuff to find our wedding planner folder, or did he do that all on his own? Now the ball's in your court.
Gotcha.
Pass.
Caught it.
Karen says, I would never do such a thing. Look, I only called to say that me and Dave aren't coming, and now I've done that. I will leave you to sort out your new seating plan. Me, desperate because, man, we love Dave. Is there any way I can fix this? Karen said, yes, get rid of the children, or we won't come.
Wow.
Hey, Karen, shut all the way up, dude. What are you talking about?
Dude, get rid of the children?
You know what Karen's dream scenario is? Castaway. Deserted island with nothing but a volleyball to keep her company. Think of the peace she would feel, the serenity.
If the wedding was filled with balls, Karen would be happy.
I bet she would be. Anyway. Wow. Finally, her evil plan has been revealed. Although I can't tell if she wants me to take them out of the wedding party or take them out, assassin style. Me, I'm sorry, Karen, but we want the kids there. Karen, well, then we'll see you when you get back from the honeymoon. Me deciding to call her bluff. Karen, ... Me, yes. Karen, the oldest one can come. The 11-year-old.
We do not negotiate with their rest.
Me, he's 13, and they're all coming. All 5. It's our wedding, our guest list, our seating plan. Karen, well, you know how I feel about kids. They ruin everything. Me, which is why you are not sat at the kids' table. We get back from our honeymoon on date. We maybe could do lunch the week after, but we'll be busy playing catch up at work. So see you when we see you. Bye. Karen. Wait! Me, yes. Karen, I'm not going to be your babysitter. Me, I literally didn't ask you to, so we will see you there then? Karen, sulking. Yeah. Me, great, see you then. Click. 2 weeks later was the wedding. Both Karen and Dave attended. Karen wore a white dress.
What?
Because she's a see you next Tuesday.
John, what do we never, ever, 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 ever do, even if you get the bride's permission?
Wear white at a wedding.
Exactly. What?
Karen wore a white dress because she's literally the worst, and I hate her. and tried to change some stuff like the cake and the flowers, as well as inviting 25 of her own friends.
25, dog? Dog, 25?
Remember the pit that they had in 300? I am heel kicking this person into that pit. I wish I had a picture of this person so I could Photoshop it onto that scene and watch her get heel kicked into the oblivion.
And remember, there was 46 people going already, so she has literally increased the wedding by 50%.
Nope, you're going to say, hey, you're not coming in and it's her fault. Go talk to her. She's already been kicked out of the wedding. So to be clear, she tried changing all these things on the day before the wedding, but got nowhere. Dave was amazing and walked me down the aisle as planned. He also took a turn at the kids' table because he loves his grandkids more than anything. It was a great day, and no one even noticed Karen refusing to even look at her own grandchildren, or Wienerhead just being plain rude to them, telling them it was meant to be adults only, and we didn't want them there. Are these people like Squidward? Like, who are these people?
I hate children.
By the way, I want to let you know an amazing fact, which is that you can listen to full episodes with stories like this whenever you want. Just go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast from and just search the letter O, the letter K, and then story time.
And you can do it anytime.
Okay, we've got like just a little bit of story left here. Do we have anything to say here, John? I mean, I love how they put all of this cast on here. We didn't need that at all.
There was like Lily and like 4 kids, and I'm like, I refuse to write their names down, and I know it.
You're just like her. You're like, I refuse to acknowledge the children until they are of age. And then we can be best friends forever.
I want the kids to cease to exist.
Today is the first day. You have 15 children. You must write all their names down as well as their ages. Bottom line, the moral of the story is just have nothing to do with this god-awful woman. She's terrible. So the kids at the wedding were also very well behaved, sitting through the ceremony patiently, enjoying the food and dancing, and most of all, the cake. They really are great kids. In the present day, we have stopped talking to Karen and Wienerhead, but remain close with Dave, Lily, Mark, and the kids. Karen stays entitled and crazy because she worried we wouldn't recognize her otherwise. She's done worse things since, but it's been 3 years and I still can't get over her "it's me or the kids" ultimatum. And that is the end of that story. My future mother-in-law threw their family heirloom engagement ring down a drain because she hates me.
Wow.
I have seen a lot of crazy people in my life, but my potential future mother-in-law is the absolute worst person I have ever met. I, 30 female, have been with my boyfriend, 31 male, for 8 months now. By the way, this comes from user Brightside256, and you can submit your stories on the r/OK Storytime subreddit.
Now that's a bright side I can get behind.
For the first few months, everything was amazing. He is the sweetest and most caring man I have ever been with. He likes to surprise me with fun dates and flowers for no apparent reason. So the biggest surprise of all was when I met his mother. I met his parents for the first time a few months ago. The first thing future mother-in-law said to me when I walked in the door was, "Are you Jewish?" I am not, and I am not particularly religious, but I was raised Catholic. Once I told her this, it was the beginning of the madness. She immediately stopped talking to me and acted as if I didn't exist. I was extremely nervous about meeting my boyfriend's parents, so this broke my heart. I was determined to make a good impression, so I kept trying to connect with her. This was a huge mistake, and I should have just let it go. Once we were all seated for dinner, she finally decided to try and make conversation. I have naturally red hair, and she asked me if my parents have the same color. I told her that I have the same hair as my mother. She then had the audacity to ask me, "Does the carpet match the drapes?"
Whoa. Dude, the mom? You know what's funny is that like a usual insane mother-in-law is like the first thing she said when she came through the door. That was just like even out of left field for like the crazy Karens.
I had no idea how to respond and just sat there stunned. Seeing my reaction, she said, "Don't worry, I'll just ask my son about it later." I looked over at my boyfriend, who seemed equally as shocked, but he didn't say anything. She then started to go on about my hair being too curly. She told me that I really need to learn how to run a brush through my hair and think about my appearance more when I'm out with her son. Then, when I didn't eat much at dinner, she gave me her version of a compliment. I was told it was good that I'm watching what I eat because it would be a shame if I got any bigger. This was just my first meeting with this woman. As soon as I got into the car, I burst into tears until I got home. My boyfriend was texting me and apologizing for his mother's behavior, but the damage was done, and I told him I needed time to think. He went into apology overload after this and started sending flowers to my office every day and leaving me messages begging me to talk to him. I finally agreed, and we went out to dinner. He told me he spoke with his mother about her inappropriate comments, and he swore it would never happen again. With this reassurance, I decided to give it another chance. Fast forward 2 weeks to when he invited me to come to a family birthday party. This time, I would also be meeting his sisters and grandparents. His grandparents and sisters are awesome people. They asked me normal questions about my job, family, and friends.
Whoa!
What a breath of fresh air right there. His mother seemed to be avoiding me throughout the evening, and honestly, I was okay with that. I went to grab something from my purse and noticed that it was not where I left it. I looked everywhere, but I could not find it. I went and asked my boyfriend, and he began to help me look. He then got a strange look on his face, and he quickly went upstairs. I could then hear a lot of yelling begin. He came back down holding my purse after a few minutes and told me that we were leaving. Once we got in his car, I asked him what was going on. His mother had taken my purse so that she could see my driver's license.
Oh.
She intended to run a background check on me. He told me she had told him this earlier, but honestly had thought she was joking.
Oh my God.
I thought that it was best if I avoided any of his family functions for the time being. This worked out great for a while, and he went to any of his family parties alone. He would ask me each time before leaving if I was sure that I didn't want to go, but I always declined. Last week, his family had their family reunion, and he asked me to please come with him. I was very reluctant, but considering there would be so many people present, I didn't think she would pull anything. Dude, what do you mean? If anything, that increases the likelihood of her pulling something.
He's like, ooh, there's people here. I can expose her.
Yeah, exactly. Aha! Now everyone will see she has red hair upstairs and downstairs. When we got there, everything was going great. I met his extended family and got to catch up with his sisters. His mother did seem to be shooting me death glares all night, but I brushed it off. Soon she came over and joined a table I was seated at with his sisters and some cousins. The conversation was pleasant as we were talking about his sister's children. His sister had a daughter who is 12 and is the same age as my niece. I then showed his sister a picture of my niece on my phone. His mother took a look at the screen and began to laugh. She told me she hopes that if me and her son ever have children, that they don't look like my niece.
Oh my gosh.
My niece is beautiful, by the way, and she is only 12 years old. What kind of monster attacks a 12-year-old child's appearance? This was my breaking point, and I went off like a volcano. I started to scream at her and told her she's the most evil person I have ever had, to the disadvantage of meeting. I told her if I ever did have children with her son, she can be certain she'll never meet them because HE double hockey sticks is way too far to travel to. I'm not 100% certain exactly everything that I said, but from what his younger sister later said, it was epic. She began to play the victim and wailed that I had just misunderstood her joke. My boyfriend came rushing over at this point, and she threw herself into his arms, telling him I'm a horrible woman and he needed to throw me out right now. He told her that wasn't going to happen and to stop making a fool of herself. She seemed to accept this for a moment and sat back down. She just kept sobbing that I just didn't understand how to take a joke.
Because she loves publicly shaming people, she needs to be publicly shamed, and it's happening.
Seems to be. I don't know. Then something in her snapped as she noticed something that my boyfriend was holding in his hand and began to have another meltdown. I didn't understand what was happening at this point and just stood there watching a grown woman pitch a fit like a toddler. None of what she was saying made any sense to me, as it was mostly just incoherent screaming, but I did pick up on many derogatory comments directed my way. My boyfriend then told me we were leaving and told me to grab my things. As I started to get ready, future mother-in-law made a lunge for my boyfriend's hand and grabbed the small box he was holding. She then looked me dead in the eyes and said,
You'll never have this ring, you little booty hole.
She ran outside and threw the box down a storm drain.
I forgot about the title down the drain. Oh.
Don't go into storm drains unless you're retrieving priceless family heirlooms under adult supervision while the weather is clear.
But you can find in the world and like nature and forests that aren't storm drains, places like that.
Go ahead and tell me.
You tell me.
I'll tell you. It's stories like this one. Full episodes of stories like this. They're just growing on trees, and we've plucked all of them and put them in one place for you to listen to, and that's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts from. All you got to do is search OK Storytime, and there you have it. It turns out that my boyfriend was intending on proposing to me. He had just obtained his grandmother's ring while we were at the reunion. His grandmother is completely heartbroken because now her ring is down a storm drain instead of continuing on in the family as she had always wanted. So grandma gets to tackle this horrendous woman, right?
Bro, if Granny threw hands, I would literally jump out of my seat with joy.
I don't know where to go from here. I am devastated, confused, and exhausted. Can I ask him to never see his mother again? I'm sure you can ask that. Is that my place to say something like that? I mean, it is if he was going to propose to you. I'm sorry that my story is so long, but I really needed to get this rant off my chest. Hey, don't worry about it. Get down in that storm drain. What are you doing?
Honestly, boyfriend needs to get in there. This is his mom, his ring.
If you want to prove it to your terrible future mother-in-law that you mean business, you'll crawl down in a sewer drain.
Yes, you can get it.
Because, like, it's already crazy that she took it, but throwing it down the sewer drain, bro? Mom should be the one picking it. But could we, like, basically kind of, bear hug her until we carry her over the drain, and then we get her down, and then we put the lid over to where she can't get out until she shows us through one of the, those little holes? She has to poke the ring up under the little hole, and then we lift the lid to let her out.
I think you've got the chain of events rolling right there. Guys, I just want to let you know, again, I'm not advocating for just like a random vacation down in the storm drain, okay? I'm advocating that if your insane, unhinged, wackadoo mother-in-law throws a family heirloom down the storm drain, you don't just have to go, it's gone forever. You can go down in there and get it.
Honestly, who's worse, mother-in-law or Pennywise? Be honest.
Mother-in-law threw that ring down there, and Pennywise went, ow, God.
At least Pennywise, like, there's some sort of entertainment in the drain. Like, you just have your hopes and dreams thrown down the drain with his mother-in-law. So, like, there's, like, some kind of entertainment. Like, he's a clown,
Anyway, hey, guys, we got an update. Post ring in the storm drain. Let's go. I have been getting messages asking for an update on my situation with my future mother-in-law, so I thought I'd make a quick post on what happened most recently. My fiance went no contact with her after everything that happened. This lasted all about a week before she showed up banging at our door. My fiance was at work and I was alone at home at the time. She was wailing that she was sorry and just wanted to see me to apologize. Since I have neighbors who were beginning to watch this spectacle, I let her inside to talk. At first, she was very apologetic and said she just wants to have a fresh start. She was pretty convincing, and I was actually considering just letting it all go. That's when she saw my Christmas tree, and all 8 double hockey sticks broke loose yet again. She began to scream that I was trying to convert her son to Christianity, and that I was just a little gardening tool who was trying to ruin her family. I asked her to please leave, and that she was not welcome here, but she was not budging. That's the fun part when you get to call the police. She told me that no son of hers would ever celebrate Christmas, and proceeded to run towards the tree. She began tearing off every ornament and throwing them, leaving them smashed on the floor. I have many childhood and family ornaments on my tree that are very precious to me. Several were smashed in her rampage. I had to grab her and physically drag her away. This ended with her punching me several times and biting me on my hand. I finally was able to throw her out the front door and grab my phone to call the police. She proceeded to scream like a banshee out front and call me every name in the book. The police arrived soon after, and just like that, she completely stopped her fit and began to try to play the victim. Talk to your neighbors. Your neighbors will back you up.
Ooh, facts. Yeah. Oh, they definitely hate her.
She told the police that I was an intruder in her son's apartment and that I had attacked her. The police had arrived with an ambulance, which she was promptly taken to because she was feeling faint and was in distress after my brutal on her. The police then came to interview me, and I told them what had actually happened. I showed them the bite mark on my hand and the bruises that were beginning to form. My fiancé arrived at the scene and immediately came to my side. He confirmed to the officers that I do live there and his mother is a nutcase. Seeing that her son was siding with me, sent her into yet another tantrum. The police asked me if I would like to place charges against future mother-in-law. Please, yes, please, yes.
Charge.
I looked to my fiancé and I could tell that he was conflicted on what to do. I had to do what would make me feel safe in the end. I decided to press charges. Future mother-in-law was taken to the hospital and then arrested upon her release. She's now facing charges and I have taken a restraining order against her. Yes, this is amazing. This has placed a serious strain on my relationship with my fiancé. He and the rest of his family want me to drop the charges against his mother. Why?
No.
He tells me that since I have a restraining order, she can no longer come near me, so I have nothing to worry about. What happens if you get the restraining order and then she breaks it and then you press charges? Your husband's still going to be like, no, don't press charges because the restraining orders, we'll do another one. I don't think he fully understands how terrifying this experience was for me. He tells me that it is my decision in the end and he'll stand by me, but he doesn't want to see his mother go to prison. Part of me just wants to pack my bags and run. I told him that I felt this way and he's begging me to stay with him. He says that we can move and have no contact with his family in the future. I'm so confused and conflicted on what to do. Update number 2. So this is the ring update. Ring in the storm drain update now.
Oh, God.
This is the ring update. Ring in the storm drain update now. I have been getting a lot of messages asking for an update on the ring situation. Unfortunately, it could not be found. The city came out to try and assist. They could not uncover anything. My fiancé and his family were devastated by this, and many of them have ceased communication with future mother-in-law because of this. The ring had high significance in the family, more than I understood at the time of writing my first post. This was literally the straw that broke the camel's back for many of the family members. Not to be that guy, but nobody got down in the storm drain immediately to get the family heirloom? His sisters have chosen to keep contact with future mother-in-law, and one of them told me that she's playing the victim card. She's saying that she had a mental break, and we all need to be more compassionate and understanding of her. I call this total crap, and I know she knew exactly what she was doing when she threw the ring down the storm drain. I have a theory that the ring never went down the drain to begin with. I think that maybe she hid the ring somewhere on herself and threw the box down the drain. I have no way to prove this, but I have expressed this concern to my fiancé and his family. It's a rather large house, though, and could be hidden anywhere. I don't think the ring will be found anytime soon. On a happier note, I am now engaged to my fiancé. My engagement ring does not have the same sentimental value as the other ring, but I love my new ring just the same, and it's all mine. I am very happy to be engaged, and I cannot wait to spend my life with my fiancé. My fiancé is on low contact now with his mother, but word has reached her that we are engaged. After she found out, she apparently refused to leave her room for 3 days. She refused to speak to anyone or eat any food. The drama of this woman is unbelievable to me. Soon after I was told about her quote-unquote condition, I started receiving a lot of strange emails and phone calls. I started getting phone calls from strange men asking me to perform a variety of different things for them. Obviously, I was mortified by this and immediately changed my phone number. I told my fiancé what had happened, and he thinks that someone must be giving up my number to men they meet by mistake. No, it's your mom, dude. It's your mom. And also, this is harassment. I'm sure she can be prosecuted for this.
Yes, prosecute.
She needs to be in prison. I didn't believe that. So I did a Google search of my phone number and found a few Craigslist ads written about me. The descriptions are just too similar to my appearance. They even mention my red hair. I truly believe this is future mother-in-law doing this. She knows how to post on Craigslist as she sells a lot of used things there. I have also mysteriously been signed up for a variety of different dating sites and corncob sites. If this is future mother-in-law, then I just don't know when she's going to stop. This is low level to drop to, and I cannot believe how pitiful this woman is. I showed this all to my fiancé and told him my suspicions. He doesn't think his mother has the tech savvy to be able to pull this off.
Shut up, dude. Oh my gosh. It's the 21st century. Anyone can do anything.
Have you seen Craigslist? It's a list.
Craigslist is from 1999. It's never been changed. Then what he said next chilled me to my bones as I thought his older sister liked me. He said his older sister had mentioned that to maintain a healthy relationship, you should be checking your partner's phone daily. She proceeded to tell him there should be no secrets and I shouldn't have a problem showing him my phone when he got home. I mean, look, if you come to that conclusion with your partner, then that's perfectly fine. But like if you get strong-armed into it by some stinky freaking sister, yeah, that's a different story. I don't like how your husband's being a real limp noodle right now.
Wet toast spine.
I was going to ask his sisters to be in my bridal party, and now I don't even know where I stand with them. Do they hate me too? What in the heck did I do to deserve this? I truly don't know who I can trust anymore. I've decided to limit what I tell them going forward as I currently think they are future mother-in-laws. Bye. For now, I'm going to try and enjoy my engagement and put all of this out of my head. I guess I'll just have to wait and see what happens with his family. Well, everyone, I know I will be trashed for being so stupid, but many of you have asked for an update. I left my fiance after everything happened, and I was heartbroken. A few days after leaving and staying with my parent, I found out the news. I'm pregnant.
Oh my God. You know what I just remembered? Grandparental rights. It's a real thing, as we have discovered in this show. Now, those can be lost, of course.
She should have none. That mom should have none.
But does she start off with some and only get it taken away once she has abused it enough to be taken away in the court of law?
I think it's the other way around. I think you have to prove grandparents' rights first. I don't think you start with them. I think you have to prove that they're needed. I came to the apartment to tell him the news, and his mother was there. He decided to side with her, his terrible demon mother. She screamed the loudest banshee scream I've ever heard. She told me that I need to terminate immediately. I told her I would not do that. I plan to keep the baby. That is when this monster attacked me. I'm going to omit that because that's terrible. I was attacked by a monster and I called the police. The limp, flaccid linguini, worthless, I wouldn't even pee on him if he was on fire. He did nothing to help. Only said stop from the sidelines.
Oh my God.
I would be tackling her. What?
Luckily, I'm okay. I truly regret dropping the restraining order. I now don't know what to do. I think he still has rights as a father, but I don't know how to fix it, so they don't have access. I think you should actually file a police report and say that you were attacked by the mother and that he did nothing. I am now pregnant and alone living with my parents. Any advice is appreciated, but please leave out the negative comments. I'm not sure I can handle them. Hey, everybody, really quick trigger warning. This story does have some depictions of physical violence while pregnant. So if that is something that you don't want to listen to, go ahead and skip to the next story. So I have been asked many times about what happened after. When I got home that day, my mother took one look at me and was furious. I had a black eye and bruises. I declined the ambulance and went straight to my parents, which normally I'd say don't do that, but honestly, this is America, and sometimes ambulances can be extremely expensive. My mom led me to my bed and made me a cup of tea, and then she just kept asking, who did this? Oh, we're going to get mom versus mom?
Ooh, mom on mom action?
She thought it was my ex, but when I told her the truth, she was even more furious. I explained everything to her that had happened, I never told her before, and told her all the gory details. She calmed me down and left to go make me some food, but she actually left the house. A few hours later, she came back. She had what she called her trophy, which is actually a large clump of ex-future mother-in-law's hair.
Yo, mama's a ride or die, bro. Oh my goodness.
She actually put it in a memory box. She told her that she will never lay eyes on her grandbaby and many other colorful things. My mom is actually an ex-bodybuilder and very into fitness.
There's no chance that evil mother-in-law has any sort of fitness whatsoever.
After that, I got a call from my ex and he just screamed at me. Mom took the call and told him never to contact me again or he will get the same treatment that was given to me. And he has not contacted me since. Woo! Okay, and hey, by the way, you can listen to full episodes of stories like this whenever you want. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, search OK Storytime, and there you have it. And I think I do believe that is the end of that story. I apologize for that description I gave at the end of the story, but it really does feel like that's what they want. right? It's like maybe a better description would be like, you know how like the penguins, they like they live on the feet of the penguin parents. It's like that's where he just wants to live on his mom's penguin feet. He wants to be in the penguin pouch. He's just a big stinky penguin trying to live in his mama's penguin pouch. And I bet it's what the mom wants to.
Absolutely crazy. My in-laws demanded to see my newborn son, but she hated the boundaries I set up to keep him safe.
Oh, looky who hates safety.
So this officially started because my great mother-in-law really wanted to see my newborn son. My great mother-in-law over the years has started to show signs of what I believe is dementia and doesn't make the best judgments. By the way, this comes from Bye Queen for Life on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I have also realized that she can be emotionally manipulative and has been that way before she started to show signs of not being completely there. I won't go into much detail about this, but just trust me when I say she's overall not a great person, but she's still my husband's grandmother, and I would have never done anything to upset her. Now, after about 2 months, my grandmother-in-law has been really pushing to see my son. Both me and my husband were hesitant about this because she has been really sick recently. On top of that, she has a history of being sick and not telling one until after the fact. Example, a family gathering. That is a not great time and place to not admit your sickness. When I was hella pregnant, we were invited to Thanksgiving at their house, and I declined to go because I was getting induced the next week. And if I got sick, that would have pushed it back further. My grandma promised she was fine, but I didn't feel comfortable with it and stayed home. Not even 2 days later, she told mother-in-law that she was very sick and wasn't feeling great, even during Thanksgivings. So, all relevant to why I didn't want her to see my son yet, as we are still deep in sick season, and he has just gotten his first round of vaccines. However, much pushing and guilt tripping from both her mother-in-law, sister-in-law. She just decided she could meet our son at our house. Just a little detail. We live with my grandmother, and she helps us with so much with my son. Honestly, the most amazing woman ever. So we decided if grandmother-in-law was going to come over, we were going to set some boundaries to make sure our son was safe and have our own peace of mind. The boundaries were that we weren't comfortable with grandmother-in-law holding son, but would love her to finally be able to see him. I specify this because some people see it was wrong that we would exclude her from holding son, but we specified this to everyone before she came over and grandmother-in-law agreed with it. Remember, she has been continuously sick and won't tell anyone that she is when it comes time to see son. No way in HE double hockey sticks was she going to cancel if she felt ill. Ergo, if she holds son, son gets sick. On top of this, we said that she needed to wear a mask and take a vid test beforehand. And the day that she came over, we received a text from mother-in-law, who was also coming with my grandmother-in-law, and asked what time they should arrive. Mother-in-law has been to our house a few times, so it wasn't a huge deal, but I realized now that it wasn't the best idea. They walk in, and grandmother-in-law shows my grandmother the vid test. Not us, but whatever, and proceeds to stuff the mask she was holding back into her purse. At this point, I'm kind of over it, but I just smile and talk to her for a little bit before going back to the kitchen while my husband took the dog outside to use the bathroom. When I was out of hearing range, or so she thought, she asked my grandmother to hold the son. My grandmother turned to me in the kitchen and repeated the question, and I simply stated, "Would you mind asking husband when he gets back? Ask your grandson, lady." I figured since it's husband's grandmother-in-law, it would be a lot gentler if he let her down. Absolute facts. Don't make her be the one because that's your grandma. Stupid.
Keep it in the family.
Be a good person and don't make your wife talk to your grandmother about that. That's stupid. Instead, grandmother-in-law started crying, no actual tears, and exclaimed, "Why does no one like me?" Remember what I said about being emotionally manipulative? Yeah, that's what she's doing. I was uncomfortable. My grandmother was uncomfortable. Our poor other dog in the kitchen with me was uncomfortable. Even Doggo could pick up on these fake granny crocodile tear vibes. I excused myself to start laundry after checking in with my grandmother to see if she was okay holding my son for another minute before my husband came back in. Immediately when I left the room, again, my mistake, my mother-in-law walks over, takes son from my grandmother, and puts him in grandmother-in-law's lap. Arrest.
We ain't doing that.
Before this, my son was smiling and laughing while my grandmother held him, faced him toward grandmother-in-law. My son lost it and started screaming. Even he knows freaking grandma doesn't need to be in here. My husband walks in at this point, sees son on grandmother-in-law's lap, and immediately grabbed him from grandmother-in-law and went into the kitchen. My mother-in-law was shocked and made a snide comment of, "Oh, so no one gets him son today?" Then they both left after, and my grandmother apologized profusely for the situation when I found out. It definitely wasn't her fault. There's only one granny being sent down the drain today.
Only one stinky grandmother. She smells of old stinky cheese.
But 3 weeks after what I will now call the incident, my mother-in-law has been calling husband, and we explained to her that we were upset with what happened. She didn't grasp what she did wrong, and the conversation ultimately went nowhere. Another week, more calls. Here's what the text message came in to the story. Husband to mother-in-law. Hey, I want you to know I'm not ignoring you, but I'm still not over what happened. We want you to be part of ours and our son's life, but because of the boundaries you broke, we don't feel comfortable having you over for a while. Is this a husband standing up to his mom?
Never seen one of those before.
With reasonable boundaries, too. He's just sending her to the moon. He's like, you're just going to go to the moon, respect our boundaries, and then we'll send you a shuttle and you can come back.
Next week, sister-in-law to husband. So, want to do dinner at mom's on Saturday if y'all are busy? I want to see son. Husband, no. Mom still hasn't even tried to talk to us after her and Nana came over the next day. Sister-in-law to my husband. Hey, what's the deal with mom and Nana? Like, something's been off since that day they came over here and y'all have been distant. And I just want to know, like, what's going on? Husband. I already talked to mom, but me and OP decided that we weren't comfortable with mom coming over for a while because she broke our boundaries. It's important to us because we did discuss beforehand what we expected, and our son's health is more important than anything. Sister-in-law, oh, okay, but what boundaries are broken?
Hey, hi, is this your first day on the planet?
I'm confused. She wasn't sick or anything? She had been around son before that day when they went over. What happened specifically that made y'all feel uncomfortable other than Nana not wearing a mask? Husband said, we already told mom about it. Don't worry. Then the next day, side note, my postpartum depression has gotten extremely bad and my in-laws are starting to be a little bit much on Facebook. So I took them off. I am guessing that is important foreshadowing to what's to come.
What a beautiful thing to just take people who are bothering you off. Hey, we can all do that, guys. If someone's bugging you, if you're like, I really don't like it when I see their posts, you can just not follow them and block them.
So, sister-in-law to husband. Why did OP unfriend me and mom on Facebook? Step just called and said mommy's bawling her eyes out over this whole situation. I don't know what the deal is like, but I hope you realize what y'all are doing to the family. I'm trying not to be in the middle of anything, but mom and Nana feel like they can't talk to you or OP, so what's the deal? This crap can't go on forever. Y'all need to work it out.
Or we can just never talk to them again. But like, also, both sides need to come to the table.
What do we rarely see in these stories is like, first off, the husband is standing up to his own family and not being like, okay, family, go eat OP alive like a piranha, right? That's usually what happens. We've seen this literally today multiple times. Second thing we don't usually see is husband and OP basically are like, hey, we had these boundaries. We clearly communicated them in the beginning. We're not comfortable with you guys coming over right now because you just kind of blew through them and you're not even acknowledging it or apologizing for it. And that's, I mean, I do think the husband is doing a pretty decent job. Husband, like I said before, we already talked to mom about it. You said you weren't going to choose sides, and it seems that apparently you have. Please stay out of it. OP unadded everyone because she has way too much going on and she doesn't want to be in the drama. We never said mom wouldn't see son again, but we just still need time. Son is our son, and mom and Nana broke a boundary that we set even before son was born. Even if OP's family did the same thing, it would be the same outcome. We were hesitant about Nana coming over at all because of exactly what just happened. The next day after that, a phone call with sister-in-law and OP causing drama. Husband to sister-in-law again. After that conversation with me and OP have talked and decided we feel you need to completely stay out of everything going on. We understand you're trying to defend mom and be a messenger, but you have more than likely have unknowingly taken her side in this when there is no side. We are son's parents, and we get to decide who does and doesn't see him. We aren't going to keep going in circles on what boundaries are because we have already stated multiple times what they are. What matters now is that mom and now you can't respect that we need time to just move on from the situation. No one is trying to start drama by dragging more people into this. Like, Dad, you're in fact causing drama and we don't appreciate it. In case you forgot, we were very hesitant on Nana seeing son for the very reason that happened. Not only did Nana ask to hold son when both OP and I left the room, but mom took it in her own hands to hand son over to Nana again when OP they said not to. We already stated we were concerned for son getting sick and we weren't comfortable with her holding him, but that wasn't good enough for them. Son is not a toy. We aren't mad at them, but at the situation, but you have nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter that you're the messenger. You can still come and see son whenever you want, but we need time away from mom to process the situation. So that was just like a big breakdown of everything. You know, it's OP's communicating clearly, is, you know, saying, hey, we said the boundaries. This is our explanation why I want to, you know, just open the air and clearly, maturely communicate like an adult.
Breaking it down to its subatomic parts.
I would say OP's husband is at least attempting the most mature response he can. At least attempting, right? If not achieving.
I would agree.
Sister-in-law, lol, okay.
See, now that would be a perfect example of an immature response.
In case you were wondering, yes, sister-in-law did kind of come out of left field. I received comments that we shouldn't have just let his continued something and just ignored sister-in-law, but we genuinely wanted her to just understand why we were upset, and we would really like her to not get involved. I was just starting to feel like maybe I was just a bee and posted the text messages, names hidden, of course, to a Facebook group called Monster-in-Laws. Not even a few hours later, I received a text from sister-in-law with the screenshots of the post and a question mark. I have no effing clue how she found the post, as she is blocked on my Facebook, but she did. I felt very, very uncomfortable with her just happening upon my post, or if someone on a group of thousands of people recognized the story and sent it to sister-in-law. Really not a fan of that. When I ignored her text, she sent the screenshots to my husband. And here is what followed. Guys, if you thought these text exchanges were done, oh my God, are you mistaken? Oh my God. Husband to sister-in-law. Can you mind your own dang business? That head is hot now. You have done nothing but stir the pot. OP has had nothing but problems since son was born, and honestly, the last thing she needs is this. I don't know what kind of resentment you harbor towards her or why you even do, but you've hated her since we got married. And guess what? You're going to have to deal with it. OP and son are my family now, and they come before anything. I won't let you or anybody act this way towards us. Decide if this is worth having a semblance of a relationship with us. I don't give a crap at this point because honestly, I have zero interest in talking to you ever again.
Boom. Hey, look at that. It's the consequences of your actions showing up.
Would you send that message or not in the husband's position to your sister? I am curious.
I think 100%.
Sister-in-law to husband. I haven't done anything. I've just been the messenger of this whole situation. If that's what you want, then fine. Show OP true character. I forgave OP for what she did to you. She's always assumed I've had it out for her, but I haven't. Oh, you don't understand how much you've affected in our family.
Oh my God. She's not even thinking of herself. Look how good she is. Like, think of the family. This isn't even about me. It's about the fam.
OP caused all of this, your wife. I wasn't the one asking to see the son. I was sticking up for mom and Nana. They felt like they couldn't say anything to you because they didn't want to upset you. I chose to be the messenger in this whole situation because I actually care about and love my family. You've done irreversible emotional damage to mom and Nana and now me. I hope you realize that, and I wasn't the one starting drama. If you don't ever want to talk to me again, then fine. So be it. Don't come back to me later saying, I told you so. I've done nothing but try to be nice and accepting towards your wife, who's OP, and all I get is this. But if this is the life that y'all choose, then go ahead.
You should have started with that. You should have just led with that so I could go, all right, peace.
Yeah, stupid. Why don't you say that first?
Stupid. OP has never liked me or mom or any of our family for that matter, and it comes to picking sides. Don't call me a pot stirrer because I've done nothing wrong. I've only told the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. Getting mad and unfriending me and blocking me doesn't solve anything. Tell me where I've gone wrong in the situation. Please. I was only looking out for mom and Nana because it hurts to see them go be so upset. This is not guilt tripping you. This is just the honest truth. I haven't done anything wrong, yet I'm causing drama because I'm the only one afraid to pew pew shoot straight with you.
This person is stink.
By the way, did you know that we have full episodes of stories just like this? If you search OK Storytime on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or on anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
Honestly, just search OK Storytime on every platform. And if you find anyone who has our name, report them.
I am proud to report we're not over with the text exchange. We're nearing the end of the text exchange. Dakota, talk to me.
Shout out to the husband for being so cool.
Honestly, this is like the most W husband we have seen in a long time in these stories. He is standing on business.
He didn't pull any of the typical stinker moves.
He was not waffling. He stood on business. He said, do not talk to my wife this way.
Husband to sister-in-law. I'm taking my wife's side.
Yeah, good. That's what you should do.
Sister-in-law to husband. Like I said, it's sad you feel like you have to pick a side. We're adults and y'all are married. When you get married, you don't pick sides. Am I wrong? Please tell me what I did wrong. Honestly, this could have been over with the first text to mother-in-law. Husband and I needed a week or two to feel comfortable having them over again, and sister-in-law made it worse. Thank you for reading. Feel free to ask questions, or if you disagree with me, blast me in the comments. I'll take the criticism. OP, not only did we not have criticism for you, we don't have criticism for your husband, who, by the way, as he should, was the liaison to his family. That is how it's done. You talk to your family, partner talks to their family, because there's the home field advantage. That's like what we should do.